It's a new year, y'all. And for me, I've never been one to do resolutions. I do solutions. And for the past almost 2 years, I've been drinking AG1 every single day, thanks to my brother, Dr. Andrew Huberman, who turned me on to this incredible product. Every day, every morning, no exceptions. Just one scoop and a glass of water. They also make packs that you can travel with. That's been very, very helpful for me as a active touring person. Having these packets with me all around the world has been really, really helpful. So if you're a musician or somebody that is always on the go, the travel packs are incredible. AG1 delivers my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, and pre and probiotics. It's very powerful, it's very healthy, and it's really simple, man. Healthy aging shouldn't feel complicated. The thought of taking multiple supplements and all these types of vitamins and stuff and powders, it's truly exhausting for me. I've never been one to take a lot of multivitamins anyway throughout my whole life. I always prided myself in just eating vegetables and eating all the stuff I need naturally, not in a pill form. So this is incredible. It covers my nutrient gaps. It supports my mental and physical health. AG1 is hassle-free, 60 seconds every morning. It's the high-quality ingredients of pre and probiotics, adaptogens and antioxidants, and whole food sourced nutrients. I drink it every single day. Every batch of AG1s goes through rigorous testing processes, and their ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrient density. If there's one product I can suggest to you guys, is the AG1s, man. This has been a life changer for me. So go to ag1.com/OLLC and you can get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. With AG1, I know I'm getting essential brain, gut, and immune health support, vitamins, probiotics, and nutrients for the day, and it's helped my mental and physical. So if there's one thing I can recommend to you guys, it's AG1s. It's my nutritional insurance. I pride myself as almost being 54 years old, not going to the doctor all the time. Knock on wood. I've been healthy my whole life and try to strive to be a healthy person, stay young, stay full of energy, and still do the things I love that I did as a kid. That's why I still skateboard, play music, exercise. So start the year off right. AG1, ag1.com/OLLC. Yo, Liquid Death, thank you so much for hydrating all my guests, taking care of me and my family and my friends. Love your water, love your brand, love what you stand for, love what you give back to the community. If you want to learn more about Liquid Death and how it started, listen to episode 115 with the co-founder, owner, and creator of Liquid Death, Mike Cesario. Just a punk rock skateboarding kid from Delaware with a dream. It's an incredible story, incredible journey. So if you go liquiddeath.com/Toby, you get free shipping on any items you order from liquiddeath.com. If you want to just get Liquid Death water, go to amazon.com. But for the merchandise and other cool items, exclusive items, go to liquiddeath.com/Toby and get free shipping. Thank you so much, Liquid Death. Death to plastic, murder your thirst. Stay hydrated. You know H2O saves lives. Welcome to the One Life, One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. Today I have a very, very special guest, my friend Kim Saigh in the kitchen. Thank you for being here.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I think I talked about this podcast a long time ago when I first started, too. Probably a couple years ago, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you tried to get me to do it, and I didn't. I was like,
it's
I'm shy girl. Well,
yeah, you're pretty shy, huh?
I'm pretty shy girl, yeah.
You're pretty low-key. I kind of like that, though.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here. How are you? It's good to see you.
I'm good. It's, no complaints, knock on wood.
Yeah, life's good. I haven't seen you probably, I don't even know, for a long time, I think.
I haven't seen you
before the pandemic, maybe?
That was when I saw you last.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So glad it's over.
Me too.
It was such a weird time.
Yeah.
Wow. We survived, though. We're here.
Yep, totally.
I feel
like I got weirder. I feel like, I'm just kind of coming out of...
Still, huh?
I feel like I got it, like, just put me in this weird space of, like, just feeling like I needed to work nonstop after that. And so I just haven't really come up for air for a few years. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. I need to live. I need to see people and do things. And
it was traumatizing for people. And a lot of people were affected by it. And some good came out of it. A lot of bad came out. It was an interesting time, like just being home and being kind of stuck in with your significant other too.
Yeah. Oh, there's that.
That was a big test too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we did really well the first few months, and then I don't know, maybe we started annoying each other, but that's when we started working a lot, No, we did really good. At first we had like a lot of fun,
Yeah.
And I was like cooking every day and like,
that was the thing.
Super. Yeah. I was like, what else were you going to do?
Everybody's making banana bread and stuff.
I made bread.
You learned, Did you teach yourself some new things during that pandemic?
I did. Went on long walks. I went on really long walks, and
which are good for you.
Yeah, it was great. It was like, I loved the first 3 months of the pandemic, and then
because we didn't realize how much longer it was going to be, maybe.
Totally. Yeah.
Right? It was like,
yeah, we thought it was a couple months and I got this. It's like, and it's like, oh wait, 2.5 years.
I just read something about walking because I've been walking a lot lately, and I think we just talked about that too. I saw something online, something saying it wasn't really exercise because humans walk anyway, but I kind of disagree. I think that walking is almost just as good as if you was running, I think. Just less pressure on your knees. I don't know. I talked to some friends. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I feel like you have to do it, so it's a good thing to do. Like, it's like our bodies were made to walk.
Totally.
So we should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I feel like, you're not stressed out when you're doing it. It's like, to me, I'm pretty calm when I'm walking, and you're seeing things, and you're seeing things you might not see if you were driving past it.
True.
And it's just, you're just taking life in slowly. I think it's really healthy for my brain anyway.
Yeah. Do you listen to music when you walk, or
Sometimes.
audiobooks or podcasts? Or?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I like the sounds of birds though, and
Nature.
just people, and I like to be aware. I think in LA too, I'm like, I want to be aware of my surroundings. I want to hear
especially now.
Cars, and
True.
You don't know what's going on behind you, so I'm a little bit paranoid.
You know what? Recently the AirPods they can cut off all that sound. It is kind of tripped out, I think.
Yeah. I don't think that's good. I've had people come up like right behind me and like it Runyon, where it's just like, but you don't know they're there until they're right behind you. And I'm like, I don't know if that's so good all the time. Yeah.
Did you go to Runyon during the pandemic when you had to wear masks to go there? It was crazy. I did. It was so wild. They were checking. It was like a movie. It was so crazy because we're getting exercise too, but it was like, it was wild.
Yeah. In hindsight, like, I know I overreacted.
I might have did too at the beginning. You think, but nobody knew anything. It was like all new to everybody. Every day was something different.
Yep. And I just feel like we're doing the best with what we knew at the time. And I'm okay being wrong. I'd rather overreact and be safe. And I'm fine. Like going back and saying, man, did I overreact,
Yeah.
But also I know some people that are really struggling. So, but most of us were fine. I don't know.
Yeah. So how many years you been in Los Angeles for?
Moved here in 2006.
From Ohio?
From Chicago.
Oh, so Ohio to Chicago to here.
Yeah, I was in Chicago 13 years.
Westlake, Ohio, though. Right?
Westlake, Ohio, yes.
And so let's go to Ohio first, because I know you end up going to be apprentice out there in Chicago, right? Under Guy Atchison, which is awesome. Is that correct, right?
I apprenticed in Ohio.
Okay. The first tattoo shop was out in Chicago, wasn't it? The big one with, like, going there. You started in Ohio and then went there, and is that true? No.
Yeah, I started at a biker shop in Ohio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Super young.
18.
Okay.
Yeah, I did my apprentice. I did my apprenticeship. I started I was almost 19 when I did it.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was going to do, but I always wanted to tattoo, and I would just like see, my punk rock friends and just people around me that had bad tattoos, because you weren't seeing a lot of really good tattoos in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, man, I could do better than that. Like, and then I started seeing really great tattoos. Like, started seeing just band members. Like, I remember seeing like guys work on White Zombie, and that was just like a pivotal, like, oh my gosh, like you can do that,
Yeah.
So that just kind of blew my mind.
Were you doing art in school and stuff?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I thought I wanted to draw album covers. I thought that was going to be my job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
as if that's a job, but you'd have to design all of them to make a living.
That's true. So what? So
I wasn't crunching the numbers on that.
Yeah. So you got into music super early then?
Yeah.
A lover of music, yeah.
Love music. Like, yeah.
Do you remember your first concert?
It was the Monkees.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so random. I love that.
Yeah. It was the Monkees.
Did you go with your family?
No, I went with a friend from high school. We had crushes on Davy Jones.
Okay. Nice.
So we was like, love them. You know what? When I still listen to the Monkees, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're like, these songs are great.
Yeah, they have good songs.
They have really good songs. Like, they're pretty
wow.
pretty touching, heartwarming songs. You're just like, oh.
Wow, that's interesting. The Monkees.
Yeah.
We listen to other types of music like top 40 and stuff like that, or?
I went from there to like hair metal. And then I really liked hair metal, and then I went to like just metal and rock and, classic rock. And then it went to, of course, grunge, like that phase. Like, but it was just still, I like all of it, Now I'm like, oh, I just like all of it.
Yeah.
I like bands from all of it. I like albums from all of it.
But you loved album covers. That was like a cool thing for you that kind of caught your eye.
Yeah.
As a young artist.
Yeah. I mean,
did you design some for bands that you liked that this should be their album cover?
I did posters for like local bands.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. So like
flyers too?
Yeah. Do you know the Spud Monsters guys?
Mm-hmm.
I was doing
absolutely.
Yeah. So I would do like, little flyers for them, and I'd go to Chris's Warped Records, and Chris was actually the person that helped me get my Chris Andrews. He was the person that helped me get my apprenticeship.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he had told the shop about I know this girl that she really wants to tattoo, and I think they didn't really think anything of it, and I wandered in there one day with a friend, and I had drawn some lettering for him. And they thought he did it, and they came out, and they're just like, "Oh, you did this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do this." And they're like, "Hey, if we taught you how to tattoo, would you want to learn?" And I was like, I couldn't believe it. It was like the heavens opened, and
wow,
it just landed in my lap.
Were your parents supportive of it?
Not at first. No. I think eventually they were just happy that I found anything.
Okay.
Because I was pretty lost and pretty, I just wasn't scholastic, and I wasn't good at studying, and.
So you weren't that good in school? You didn't pay attention?
No. I think in hindsight, I probably had I do. I think I still do have raging ADHD or something.
Yeah.
They weren't diagnosing it back then. Of course.
So were you failing classes and stuff, or?
Yeah.
And were your parents weren't strict about grades?
They wanted me to get good grades, but they didn't necessarily know how to help me with my... I just wasn't interested. And I think that's the thing. It's if you're not interested in something, you might not 100%. Really embrace it.
Yeah. Do you have siblings too?
I have an older sister.
You guys tight growing up?
Yeah. I mean, she was almost because my parents were working, she was always kind of stuck babysitting me. She's almost like a mom in a way, but yeah. So we still have that kind of relationship.
Did she take you to concerts and stuff too?
She took me to a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were your parents into music too, playing music in the house?
My dad always my dad loves music, but it was they were listening to oldies and doo-wop and stuff like that.
That's cool.
My mom loved Elvis and Roy Orbison, and it's interesting. Recently I was there, and I told my dad, you should play some music for Mom, and he put just an oldie station on. And she's singing. She remembered every single lyric. I'm like,
oh, that's
what?
Cool.
What is happening here?
Wow.
This is amazing. It was
so
really.
They're still together?
They are. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
How many years are they married?
50-something years.
Wow, that's so cool.
Maybe 52 years. I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. It's pretty awesome.
So, you started apprenticing while you were in high school?
No, I had graduated. I was almost a year out of high school.
But you already had tattoos?
I had one.
You got it at 16 or something?
I got it when I was 16, yeah. I took a fake ID and got it.
Sick.
Yeah.
Do you still have it, the tattoo?
No, I had it covered.
Do you want to say what it was?
It was a dragon sitting on top of a yin yang that I drew.
Sick.
Yeah. And then I heard later that they took that and made a piece of flash out of it, and they hung it on the wall. So it wasn't original. It got, nice. It got turned into a tattoo for other people to, get tattooed. But
did your parents know you had that tattoo that young?
I kept it hidden for about 6 months.
Yeah, it's hard.
And then one day I, in a, angsty teenage argument with them, I pulled my sock down and was like, I already got one, and my dad's like,
was he so bummed?
No, he's like, that's why you've had socks on for all summer, Yeah. He's like, I thought you got a motorcycle burn or something. I'm like, oh no, I'd never get on a motorcycle.
That's why I have socks on in the pool. So they're like, yeah, whatever, this is what she's doing. And you were focused on something, so that's cool. You wanted to do tattooing.
They were happy with that, yeah.
So no college?
No college, no. Can you tell?
but you graduated, did you barely make it out of high school?
I barely made it out of high
Same.
School, yep.
Yeah. But you were focused on, you want a tattoo. That was it.
I mean, anything, I just was not, I knew I'd never, embrace studying, and I don't know. I just wanted to do something artistic.
Yeah. And do you remember what do you practice on? Because people say they practice on melons. What kind of stuff you practice on when you're learning how to tattoo back then? Besides humans.
Banana peels, oranges, fruit.
Wow.
There's nothing. It'll give you the the idea of what it feels like to hold the machine, but it doesn't give you the idea of what the surface, is like that you'll be working on. So eventually you kind of just have to like jump in and start doing small, simple tattoos to just get the feel of the skin.
Are you doing them on your friends back then?
Yep. Freebies.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm so grateful to those people,
Yeah.
Or like, I'm like, thanks,
Yeah. Do they still have the tats, you think? Who knows?
I don't know. I know my very first tattoo, he got it covered, and I was like, man, thank God. Like, he was so shy about telling me, and I'm like, just burn the evidence, please.
What was it?
2 tribal dolphins jumping head to tail.
Tribal's coming back now, which is crazy.
I know, right?
I got friends getting tribal now. It's like, I got all mine like, oh my God, it's crazy. If they say you weren't tattooed unless you have some tribal, but tribal was a crazy time in tattooing.
Yeah, I mean,
tribal dolphins, huh?
Tribal dolphins, yeah. I mean, I was like, that's all you did. You chose it.
So you're working at the shop once you graduate?
Yeah. So I did the apprenticeship where I'm like cleaning floors and, scrubbing tubes and all that kind of stuff and cleaning up after people and setting up stations and making stencils for people. So we did all that. They really wanted me on the floor. So they threw me on the floor like probably after like 3 or 4 months of that. Because they're like, we would like you to make money. And there's only one way to learn. So
yeah. Were you still living at home at that time?
I was, yeah. And then I moved above. I was like, I'm going to move above the tattoo shop. I moved above the tattoo shop, because I really, like, that's all I cared about. I just ate, slept, and breathed it,
That's cool.
And so I moved above this tattoo shop, and I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and there was ginormous cockroach on my white towel in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
And I started crying, and I just drove home and moved back in with them.
All it took was one roach, yeah.
It was all it took was one giant.
But they were probably supportive at that point because you're working, tattooing, and
yeah. They were happy that I was like focused on something. I was a pretty troubled teenager.
In what sense? Like, you a party girl? Like, what was your deal?
I think I was just crawling out of my skin, like a lot of kids are. Like I didn't want to be there. I didn't know where I wanted to be.
Were you partying young or no?
I mean, I drank. I did a few things, but I was just like, I think I always like having my wits about me. So like, I never went too far down that path. Yeah. I tried though, because I just, you're experimenting. You want to see.
Were you trying to be rebellious, or you just were rebellious in a sense?
I think it was just like that feeling, when you're young, that that angsty, like, oh, get me out of here.
Yeah. Do you have boyfriends in high school?
I mean, I had crushes.
Were you dating young at all? No.
I had crushes. Like, and I mean, I had like a couple of like boyfriends. I didn't have a real boyfriend until I was like 25. But I think that's because I was, I was just kind of focused on trying to figure out who I was and what my place was in this world. And I think until I sorted that out, or at least started on some sort of path, like I never would have been, I knew I wasn't going to be, I knew I didn't want to be a mom, even though I love kids, I like love my friends' kids. Like,
you knew that back then?
Yeah, I knew when I was a kid, I didn't want kids. I knew when I was a baby, or not baby, but like when I was like 4 or 5 years old, like I knew I didn't want kids.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird, huh?
And that's never changed throughout your life?
Never changed.
That's pretty amazing.
Never questioned it.
Wow.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I
That's
think
cool,
I just
though.
wanted to just find my path. I still actually don't know that I found that,
Yeah,
It's
I don't think any of us have, to be honest.
Right?
Yeah, when I was 13, I told myself I would never do drugs or alcohol, so I get that. And
That's
I never
amazing.
have, so it's like I made a commitment to myself, same as you, not to have
That's
kids.
amazing.
Yeah. And I never thought about ever doing it my whole life, just like never thought about having kids, so yeah, I get that. It's interesting, though. Did you get pressure from your parents to like, when are you going to have kids or stuff like that? I don't know. No,
I think there was one day like where not that long ago, I mean, it was like maybe like 5 years or so ago, my dad's like, well, he goes like, I guess I'm not going to have any grandkids. My dad kind of scared me too. I mean, he was like a really strong dad, like in the
Was he
sense.
strict?
I'm super tight with my pops, but
That's
he was
cool.
just like, yeah, he was like, he would just say things. He was like a tell it like it is dad. He always has been.
That's
and
good, though. Straightforward, yeah.
Yeah, really straightforward.
Was
Like,
he overprotective of you?
If you ever get knocked up by some loser, I'm not raising the kid.
Yeah.
Like that
was scary straight. Yeah.
Like if you ever get messed up on drugs and don't come back to this house,
But tough love.
Yeah, I think it works.
Yeah, but you're probably like still daddy's little girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very much so. I mean,
protect you.
Yep.
That's
I mean,
cool.
he didn't really realize, I'm sure it like kind of messed me up for a while, but it was, it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Damn. So then you ended up moving to Chicago when you're 21 years old. That's correct, right?
Yeah.
And what made you make that move?
Well, the guy was my favorite. Guy Aitchison was my favorite tattooer. Like he was just the person I looked up to.
Yeah.
He came to Cleveland to do a art show at a gallery that well, actually, here's the tie-in with Derek. Derek's first band, Outface. It was his.
Wow, dude. Where you at, Derek? I do wish you were here now.
See?
You saw Outface? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, a bunch of times. And I actually only met Charlie until recently, like maybe 5-6 years ago. Civ was doing a guest spot at our shop, and
I remember
Charlie
he was there.
Yeah,
it
was pretty rad. And Charlie,
GB played out here or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like
that's
go
crazy.
back to that time. But,
so were you going to hardcore shows in Ohio?
like here and there, not a lot. Like just, but yeah. I mean, I've seen the Ohio ones.
Yeah.
Tattooed Dwid.
Oh wow, you did?
Long time ago. Yeah.
Wow. So you've seen Integrity, obviously.
Yeah, seen Integrity. Like yeah.
Wow.
Like, I mean, it like music's so like.
That's cool.
back it's everything, like
For
especially
sure.
like back then. Like
and that's
it was
your
just, like,
scene
that
too.
was
You're
your-
in Ohio, and those are the bands there. So
Totally.
it's like,
yeah, you go see who's playing.
Damn.
Yeah, even
I
if like
just-
even it's like not your primary jam. It's just like you go see like all the bands.
So you saw Outface.
Yep. I mean, but so it was the bass player Frank Kavanaugh, him and his lady had a gallery, and Guy came and did an art show at that gallery. And when he was there, he had kind of kept. He had tattooed me at that point.
Okay.
And me and my best friend went to Chicago to get large pieces from him, and
That's nice.
he's just like, Kim, how's your work coming along? Blah blah blah, and he's like looking at my portfolio, and he's like, you probably should, branch out. You probably might want to go somewhere else if you like want to progress and blah blah blah. So he knew. He's kind of set me up with a job in Chicago. He was kind of taking an artist from this one shop and replacing me with that artist, or replacing that artist with me. And a year later, he ended up hiring me. So it was just, that was like that moment where you're just like, wow,
That's amazing.
I can make shit happen if I really want. Like,
Yeah.
you can manifest.
And it's your favorite artist too to go out there. It's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Were you nervous going out there?
I was ready.
Yeah.
I was nervous. I was nervous about leaving home, but I was just ready. I just wanted to be in a big city. I feel like I wanted to be in a big city from the time I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many years had you been apprenticing for in tattooing before you went to Chicago?
Well, I went from one biker shop on the far east side of Cleveland to another biker shop on the far west side of Cleveland because it was illegal in the county. So you had to go to the outskirts if you wanted to get tattooed.
That's cool. That's when tattoo was like
it was
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like rebellious, and that's interesting. I remember going to
not in our county. Like
yeah. I remember I was banned in New York for a while too.
I know.
We would go to Jonathan Shaw, Fun City. I think he tattooed us out there with Chris Garver way back in the day. I get tattooed in Siv's apartment on Avenue B. I have so many tattoos from him, like being Siv's guinea pig. But I like when it was when it was illegal. That was so like it's kind of cool too. Outskirts of town.
Wasn't the running joke when it became legal, everyone just lifted their shades up?
Probably. That's true. That makes sense. But biker shops were gnarly back then too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all tattoo shops have different things, but like, I guess there's really no difference between a biker one and a regular tattoo shop, right? Back then it was just kind of, because it was kind of outlaw style, right?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my first boss had he had pretty much had a firearm at every station.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like an 18-year-old girl from the suburbs, it was just, you're just like, holy shit, like this. But, he was just always fearful that, the rival shop was going to come down and there was going to be
And that was the thing too, rival shops. And all
yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah. It was, when I think back to this stuff, it's just like, oh yeah, I forgot that this stuff was a thing, it's so everything, it's so not that now.
But is it still a thing where you have to like, it's almost like a common courtesy or respect to approach somebody from another tattoo shop and say, hey, I'd like to open one this many miles from you? Is that still a thing, like radiuses and stuff like that for tattoo shops out of respect? But now it seems like there's tattoo shops everywhere in every block. It probably doesn't matter no more.
I think it's a free-for-all now.
Damn.
I think it is. I do. I think it's I did it a couple of times here when I opened my shop.
Yeah.
Went and visited a couple people, and they're just like, fine, just go do it. Just go do it. I'm like, it's going to be a private studio, and like, seriously, I'm not going to step on anyone's toes. And I don't think I have. Like, I feel like we're pretty tucked away. We're not really in anyone's business. But now I feel like someone would open up across the street. Actually, someone did open up.
Really?
They seem like, I don't know them, but they seem like nice girls. They've
so all that stuff's gone. All that like code of the streets and like kind of respect and the guidelines and regulations for tattoos, just like out of respect for each other. It's all different now. It's just like
totally different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's every man for himself now, right?
It's crazy. It's just, we're going to get to it, but I really do feel like TV shows had a big effect on all that as far as like making tattoos for everybody accessible and making people more open-minded about it, and like grandparents getting tattooed and your neighbor getting tattooed and my UPS man with a neck tattoo, just all that shit, making it not, there's no more job stoppers is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know how we're like, I mean, when I was asked to do the show, like I knew it was going to get like I knew we'd get shit for it, and I knew it was like
from it,
yeah. It's just, I mean, and it is. You are just like kind of, you're exposing it, but also it's this thing that you love, and you're just like, this is so cool, and now everybody's about to know how cool it is, or and so like I know they had a hand in it. I mean, I don't think I was the quiet one that didn't say much, so.
But I also think it really helped from a perspective as somebody who just gets tattoos and don't own a shop or tattoo. I feel like it just helped so many tattoo shops get way more business, but also at the same time made anybody think they could tattoo. Made it look like it was so easy. I could do that too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, and there's like, it's not that easy. And you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it like, well, and it was much harder back then. Like the machines were much harder to use than like, especially like when I first started it, like I had such primitive equipment, and it was like single needles and 4 and 6 flats, which were just like trying to put color in with those. It just like, it was so hard, and it was so like not as saturated as like, the needles that we use now. And the machines that like the new pen machines, like the rotary, like they're just, I mean, they're so easy to use. It's so different. Like if you were working with a coil machine back then, there was so much more elbow grease involved, with tightening the skin and, the heavy back weighted machine. And just, it was just a lot more physical work than it is now.
The new pen thing's crazy. I got tattooed recently by my ear over here, and I couldn't hear it. It was just vibrating. It was so comfortable. It wasn't that loud. It was so strange. It was like a big pen. It was interesting.
I think it's great.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
I've lost hearing. I've definitely lost decibels.
For sure. And I also feel like some of the stress for me getting tattooed is the sound of the machine and how loud it is in my ear, and having nothing. I was like, is this really happening? It was so chill. It was a really interesting experience.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I think it's better. I mean, obviously it's better. They heal better. They, it's less trauma. There's
really,
yeah. I mean, although Sean just recently went back to using coils, and he really loves the feel of it.
Yeah.
But it's loud. It's, they're cooler looking. They're way cooler looking.
Yeah, they're lighter. It's just like a big fat marker or something. It's interesting.
Oh, I think the coil machines are cooler looking. You don't think so?
With the classic ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do like the new ones, how it's just like barely any vibration or any sound. Yeah. That was so interesting.
Yeah. I feel like honestly, like whatever result you're trying to get, you should use the machine that is going to do that best. But I also feel like, the newer machines seem to have less trauma.
Trauma meaning what for people, you think?
Just their tattoos are healing nicer. As far as like, it's more direct. So like there's just less chewing up of the skin. And I know that does not sound very technical.
No, I know what you're saying though.
It's just less
I could just see
pummeling someone, they're just They're just more efficient.
Yeah.
They're far more efficient.
Yeah, it's come a long way since you started. It's crazy.
It is. Yeah, it's a big difference. But I feel like that's why also more people are doing it now, because people would get discouraged like after using the coil machines and the tubes and the back weight, and their hands would get sore. And it's just like, I feel like a lot of people would just not find it. It wasn't like drawing. It was like etching a pillow, like, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's crazy. And just like all the fine line stuff, so popular now, the single needle stuff, the hand poke stuff. My son was trying to get tattooed like when he was in 11th grade in the back of a classroom. I was like, that's not going to happen, man. You're not going to get hand poked when I know all the best tattoo artists in the world. That's not going to be your first tattoo. No. But it's like a trend, like the hand poking stuff.
I know.
Crazy.
I've been to a couple of bars where there's people set up at the back of the bar, like doing hand poke tattoos. I'm like, crazy. What is this?
It's crazy how popular it's gotten. And just the single line stuff's how trendy that is. And just like all the fine line stuff that like.
Yeah.
But there's all styles for everybody, I guess,
Yeah, who knows? Who knows where it'll go? I mean, I think the good thing is it'll be easy to cover or remove.
Yeah, way easier.
Yeah. It's like so much less commitment than like heavy color and all that stuff. But I like the commitment, Yeah,
the heavy color stuff's harder to remove. So like the black and gray and that stuff's super easy. And it's easy to say now people are like, oh, yeah, it's not permanent anymore. Now we can get it lasered. So it's not forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's just progress, and I'm glad there's lasers. And,
same.
I am.
You ever get anything lasered?
I have on my leg.
Yeah.
Large piece, lots of blisters, lots of.
Back then, you got it more recently.
No, it was a long time ago. I had lasering done on it, and basically, I have a cover up now. So, but it allowed me to get a nice big cover up, nice big,
Yeah, it's probably before the Pico lasers or all the high tech stuff now, probably.
I believe so. I had massive blisters on my leg, though. It was pretty gnarly. It hurt so bad.
Yeah, but it hurt worse back then too.
I think it did. I don't know.
Now they ice you up. It's like so nice. It just.
Oh really?
Oh man, it's so easy and it's just so fast. It's like a bunch of rubber bands hitting you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, well, back to the shop. So you worked at, was it Cherry Bomb Tattoo? Is that the spot you worked at in Chicago?
No.
What was the one you worked at in Chicago when you first got there?
Chicago was there was this place called Melio's, and it was like a hair salon, piercing, tattoo shop. It was like right at the corner of Clark and Belmont. It was across from the alley.
And the logo was a picture of Moon?
It was.
Oh my God. Moon. She's not here, but yeah. That's the place that they use my wife's image as their logo, her face.
She's a legend.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I don't know if you know how many like people had crushes on Moon. Like I didn't know sure. Moon, but I knew of her because I was like, do you know Moon? Like
really?
Yeah. So
wow. Did you know that was her face on the obviously?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. You just brought that up. That's wild. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where it was.
That's where I started, and it was like an old I think it was like a Hungarian dance hall or something like that, and they had a stage at the back, and the stage was the tattoo parlor. And it was fun. It was like completely chaotic. So I worked there for about a year, and like a year later, like a year upon my arrival, the Chicago guy like gave me the option to work for him, and I jumped at that chance, obviously, because it was what I always wanted to do. And then work for him. He moved to Southern Illinois. I took over the shop for about a year, and I don't know, I wasn't ready for that. The building was for sale. There was a lot of like decisions that kind of needed to be made. So I guess the last year that Guilty and Innocent was there, I owned it. And
you owned it?
Yeah, I didn't do so well, but as a business owner.
Okay.
Yeah, and we there were stipulations on how much of the space could be tattoo, like have the income of tattoos. Yeah. It had to be like, it was basically a t-shirt shop that was subsidized by the income of tattooing. So, it was hard to get any kind of foot traffic in there.
Yeah.
So it would just have to be like someone who was already like tattooing and had a clientele to be working there, which was just me. So it's kind of like, it just wasn't a good situation. It wasn't like, it just seemed like, okay, I think I have to let go of this because there's no one else really tattooing here. Guy wasn't tattooing there at that point. And the building was up for sale, and it was like, do we sign this like humongous lease? And it was just like, no, let's just let it go. And I went and opened Cherry Bomb, which was a small private studio.
Yeah. And how old are you then? Like 22 or something?
24.
24.
Yeah.
Still super young. That's cool. Open
Yeah.
your shop. Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Are you established by then? Like your name and stuff and throughout Chicago? People know who you are? And
I think so. I had enough clients to like keep it going. It was in the Flatiron building, like right across from the Double Door.
Okay.
Upstairs, like it was an artist building, and yeah, it gave me the freedom to like come and go. I always like that. Like I like making my own schedule. That's one of the things I really like about this job is
your own boss.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's like one thing I've always just wanted in life is just freedom. Like, you know, the ability to just kind of like come and go as I please. And I mean, I'm happy being held accountable and, you know, doing things. I work all the time. So, but I just wanted to do it on my own terms.
Were you working jobs before that, or you just went straight to apprenticing and
just like, you know, retail jobs. And, like restaurants.
That's
that kind
the
of
last
stuff.
real job you had is back then.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So yeah, I know nothing else.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know. I don't know that it is because seriously, like we just had like the worst 3 months, the first 3 months of this year. Hi, Stella.
We're slow, right?
Like I've never.
I heard that for a lot of tattoo shops, so I wonder why that is.
I've never seen it like this. But then it picked up again. But like, yeah, it was like okay, like this could just be pulled from us. And what would you do? Like, and I don't know.
Wonder why that happened. I wonder what's going on. Like, you can't get tattoos online at Amazon or nothing. I wonder where the business is going, or people have their own machines. Who knows? I don't know.
I think that probably a little bit of everything, right? Like, I mean, I guess I think there's a lot of us now.
There's a lot, exactly. We're talking, yeah. Same thing with vegan restaurants in LA. So many are closing because there's so many.
I don't know how restaurants do it. Like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, just like when you think about crunching the numbers and like, I don't know. Like the rent is just astronomical.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I can imagine being a restaurant owner and trying to survive, especially here.
Yeah. So it was a known thing throughout the tattoo world that it was slow the first couple months of this year. Was it for everybody that felt that, you think?
I mean, like Sean was going to conventions in like Europe, and they're just like, oh, I mean, it was happening there too. I'm sure there's like, you know, a handful of people that are going to be busy no matter what.
Yeah. Have their clientele always, or.
Yeah. And I actually thought I was pretty busy throughout fall, and I know a lot of people were slower, but yeah, I've been doing this a long time. You know, my word of mouth clientele is what keeps me, and just my long-term customers that, you know, when you're there all the time, you just build a steady clientele.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they kept me busy up until about mid-December. And then it was like a cord pulled out of the wall, and it was just, you know, the music died and no one, like crickets for months. So yeah, I've never seen it that slow.
Yeah, except for the pandemic, probably.
Yeah. But that was different. That was like taken from us, you know. It wasn't it was like we weren't allowed to work. So, but this was like kind of like, what's happening, or is there a recession that isn't being talked about, or, you know, I mean, it is post holidays, so
totally,
yeah,
but not 3 months. That's crazy.
It was a lot.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
And now it's coming back.
I think so. Knock on wood.
Yeah, there's so many shops, man. Right? It's crazy.
Great. Yeah, I don't know. And then you know, when I talk to people, it's like, oh, I know this person. They're doing it. You know, and they do some tattoos on the side. It's like, on the side, like, really, like in your kitchen, like
on the side, yeah.
It's watered down. It's for sure watered down. And, you know I can't be a gatekeeper or anything like that, but it's just different. It was bound to happen.
Yeah, it's a different world of tattoo. It's just a different world now.
Yep.
But I think tattooing is bigger than ever it was at this point. You feel like it's big?
I think everyone gets them. I mean, now it's just like, you know, it used to be a certain type of person that would get tattooed way back when, and now it's everybody. And I mean, that's pretty cool that everybody feels like they can get tattooed. Yeah.
No more stereotypes really with tattoos.
No, it's pretty cool.
Criminals and sailors and all that stuff. And
yeah.
For back in the day, or just bikers. Yeah. So you're at Cherry Bomb for like, what, 13 years?
Yeah. Yeah. And I worked with this guy, Patrick Cornolo. He came and worked with me, and we just shared the shop for, you know, like actually Chicago, I was there 13 years. So I think I had Cherry Bomb like maybe 9 or 10 of those. And then, yeah. And
do you move to LA for LA Inc., or do you get picked for the show, or are you already moving there?
So I had gotten a bunch of calls from Juan Puente.
Yeah,
there were like
shout out to Juan Puente.
There's a bunch of like messages from Juan. I came into the shop and Patrick's like, you have these messages, like bunch of messages from Juan. Like it seems like you better call him, find out what's going on. So I call him. Juan's like, Kim. He's like, no, I can get a hold of you. Like, and he told me what was happening.
So he was in the mix with that at first?
He knew about it.
Okay,
like, yeah, he knew about it, but he just, he's like, Kat's getting her own show. Like they were looking for girls. People have suggested you.
Had you met Kat before?
I had never met Kat, no.
And she was at Miami Ink at that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I was on that show once. It was sick.
were you on Miami?
Yeah, Chris Garver tattooed me on there, yeah.
Oh,
that was cool.
I gotta go back and watch. I mean, he like, the fact that he was doing that show was just like, it was like, oh, this could be good.
Yeah,
like,
he's the best.
Yeah, he's fucking amazing.
Legit, still killing it, yeah. So Juan's hitting you up about the show.
Oh yeah, he just told me about it, and so like, he gave me like the contact number. Like they wanted to do an interview. They came out, sent someone out to interview me, and I don't know why they picked me, but they did. And I always wanted to live in Los Angeles. Like I almost moved out here a few times in my 20s, and just couldn't make the jump. And I was like kind of like a sign, like go, like go do it.
Yeah. Were you with? Did you have a boyfriend at the time, or anybody had leave behind in Chicago?
I had 1 month prior to getting the offer to try out for the show. My divorce was final.
Wow.
And we were walking out of the courthouse, and my ex said to me, he goes, Kimmy, he's like, maybe you'll end up in California. You always want to be there.
Wow.
Like 1 month before.
That's crazy.
It was pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, and then it happened. And then even my friends were just like, you're not coming back. We know you. You love it there. You've always loved it there. We know you're not going to come back. And we love you and wish you well. And so, yeah.
Did you have friends in LA at the time?
I had had quite a few friends here. So
it was perfect then.
Yeah, it was kind of an easy transition. I just remember like coming here, they set me up with an apartment like near Larchmont.
They put you in an apartment?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, they made it really easy, like to kind of just get comfortable.
Nice too over there.
It was so good.
Hancock Park. It's nice.
I'm like, there's Pete's Coffee, and there's this like awesome like beauty store. Like,
I mean, to move right there, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
it was great. You guys have purple trees. Like, I was in love with it from the get go.
So you get picked, and then what? And then you just come out here and just start filming it, meet everybody, and
yeah, it was like a few months, and then
a few months before you started filming and stuff.
Yeah, like actually, Pixie took me around a lot.
Okay,
I was hanging out with Hannah a lot.
Shout out to Pixie.
Yeah, for sure. She definitely like introduced me to a lot of people.
Okay, she was picked too in the beginning as well.
Hannah or Pixie?
Pixie.
Yeah.
Okay, and okay.
Yeah, and
so
then
like a crew out here. Yeah.
I mean, what an experience, I like it was great what it did for me. It was very hard.
I can imagine.
It was very hard.
It's a reality show, but it's scripted, obviously.
Yeah, there's a lot of manipulating and
and you don't drama and all that stuff.
Yeah, you don't really realize it's happening as it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I thought that person was my friend. No, they were just.
Was Dan Smith on there yet?
Not yet. Okay. No, Dan wasn't on there yet.
He made it out there unscathed. He made it out there safely too.
Yeah, Dan did really well.
He did. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Dan did really well.
He came on later. Yeah, so you're thrown into that world. Now you're in LA. You're living in California where I always wanted to live. You're living by Larchmont. You're on a tattoo TV show. It's just a lot.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, and I was super green. I came here like just unassuming,
trusting everybody,
trusting everyone, and just like probably the worst way to like show up in LA.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. It was fine. But you know what? It did great. I mean, it did great things for me. I was able to like establish like a clientele. I was set up with business like from the get go. I was horrible on camera. I was nervous. Like, I would get tongue tied, and it just wasn't my thing. But it's also good to, I think, see yourself that way.
Mm-hmm.
And just, there's a lot of like kind of acceptance that comes with that. And you're like, okay, I did it. I think Chris Garver had like the best thing to say about, doing the show, because people were like, you don't seem like the kind of person that would do this show. And his response was, anytime something like you're thrown an opportunity like that, like just a little curveball in life, like you should probably check it out, investigate it, and see what it's about. And that was kind of where my head was at. It was just like, this seems like something, maybe I should just see it. You know, I wasn't thinking about like, how do I brand myself? Like I wasn't thinking about any of that stuff. I was just thinking like, this is a pretty unique opportunity. I love California. I should probably go do it.
And how fast is that show? It kind of blows up kind of fast, right? That show?
Yeah.
Because Kat was already on Miami Ink and she was blown up in there, and then she did her own show, and there's like a lot of eyes on it, and then it was pretty fast, huh?
Yeah. And it was just like, it was crazy to watch, even like as a bystander, like, you know, just seeing like, I mean, you just learn so much. You learn just so much about like, you know, the way TV works and the way like, certain opportunities work and how fast you need to like grab those opportunities. And so it's pretty, like, it's a lesson like you just can't pay for, you know? It's pretty eye-opening. But
are people coming up, people offering you stuff from that, or like deals, or we just kind of in your zone just doing
not
it?
so much, but like, and I mean, you know, there were things, but you're just like, I don't know. I've always like, I go by how something feels. And if something doesn't feel right, I'm like, I don't know what that is. No, I think I'll stay away from that. Like,
and how was the tattoo community originally? Because they already had Miami Ink, so they can't really hate on LA Ink because it's already a show. But I'm sure the old school guys, like the gatekeepers, like you were talking about, like maybe the people like, I don't know if this is cool for our culture, right? Or I
mean, I knew that we were going to get pushed
it was
back.
Happen. Yeah,
I knew it, and also like, you know, I guess I might have, like, I understand why. Like, I totally understand why, and because it's like you're just exposing this like secret, this world that you know is like a best kept secret to the rest of the world, and what are they going to do with it, and is it going to, I think this is like everything, you know, it's like when your favorite band becomes huge,
it's watered down, exposed, all that stuff. Yeah
I heard, but I think eventually, like, you know, the people that are sincere about it stick to it, and 100%, you know,
probably give you thicker skin too, tougher skin, right? That.
I think so. Yeah.
So you were on there for like what, 2 years?
Yeah, I did like 3 seasons. By the end of the 3rd season, I was like I was so tapped out.
Yeah.
They let me go. They let us go, and I, like, me and Hannah, but I mean, it was like such a blessing. But you know what I forgot? I just remembered, like, after, because I ended up opening, me and Sean opened Memoir.
Yep.
I wanted to stay here. You know, I found a great space. Like, Sean was living up north. I had to like try and get him to move down here somehow. So I had to find a space. And pardon me, I need a sip of water.
Because he was up north. That's right.
Yeah. So, you know, fast forward like maybe a year or so, and the shop opens, and then we got a call from one of the producers, and they asked if they could, if we'd be interested in filming the show, like part of the show at our shop. And I totally forgot about this.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I think
at your shop a little bit of it.
Well, I think that it was
something
like when they were trying to create the drama.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh well, we're a lot closer than, like, let's say going to Corey's shop. Like, it's just and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot they asked me to do that. I mean, I would. There's no way. I was like, I would never, like, especially at that time.
For drama purposes, interesting.
Yeah, I was just done. But it was, you know, like I said, it did great things for me. I think it, you know.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, Kat was a great tattooer, so I feel like she represented tattooing well. I feel like, you know, obviously Hannah's amazing, Corey's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I think we did our best.
Were people recognizing you from the show?
Here and there, for sure. Especially if I was with Hannah, like, because, you know, like, just kind of, But I still get it every once in a while, but it's not often.
Did your parents watch the show?
Yeah, I think that was like the most proud of.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, Mom, it was like kind of like one of the more embarrassing parts of my life, but but thanks, Mom.
It's like a soap opera, Mom. Yeah. So she watched it. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's sweet. They love TV, so, you know.
It's crazy. So some stuff is obviously
it's a benchmark of success.
Yeah.
Just being on a television.
Were there some scripture like, I don't want to do that or say that or get involved in that? You had to because you had a contract, probably say stuff, or no?
I think you're always trying to find like your way to be truthful within a a partially made up scenario.
Yeah.
So that was hard, and then what do you end up doing? Just zipping your lip.
Yeah. But it definitely had an effect, I think, on tattooing, like I said earlier, just putting into households, normal households of people,
Yeah.
And hear people's stories about why they got the tattoo or people they lost. I think all that stuff was cool, the stories behind the tattoos, because people just get judged for having tattoos, not knowing why they got them. So I like the stories behind them. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. I do
heavy
too.
Stuff too, yeah.
And I still get that. I mean, I know like there was like a lot of jokes afterwards, like, oh, like after, I mean, we've always been in that position of listening. It's like, I don't want to say it's like being a hairdresser, but when you're with someone for hours on end, people, they get to know each other and you get to know things you don't want to know about people maybe, but it's real and and you're going to have these like heavy conversations, whether you want to or not. And I think it teaches you a lot. I think it can be kind of a bummer at first because you're like, oh, this is like I'm hearing all these like heavy stories from people, but eventually you're just kind of like, this is humanity, and I'm kind of just I'm with this person. We're getting through this thing that is very cathartic for them, and it's a bit of a struggle for them, and maybe me as well. But I do feel like eventually it's kind of made me a better person to have to work with people and that closely.
Yeah, and plus you're on camera and under a bunch of lights too, having these conversations too. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even talking about the ones on camera. I'm just talking about like in general.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying on that and in real life, having those conversations and like being filmed and having just all that stuff. It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, there was like they were trying to catch it in a certain, because I felt like the conversations weren't happening organically. They were like, okay, now you're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
So that was hard because I feel like when I'm like working on someone, there's an organic conversation happening.
It's not forced.
And it is pretty, it's pretty intense, Yeah.
So life after that, you must have felt great leaving the show, obviously, because it probably wasn't, you didn't know what you were signing up for in the first place. You're just going on a show, you're moving there from from Chicago, it's like a big deal. You're going to go to California, you're going to be in the show, and then like, who knows what was going to happen on that show, you know what I mean? Like, you know it was going to be like a reality show or a soap opera, all that stuff, and you're just here to work and tattoo and learn more and show your work and all that stuff, and interesting.
Yeah, because I like eventually I'm like, I wasn't thinking of it in terms of like any kind of, I mean, it's like we're not performing, we're not performers, like we're like it's I'll go back to tattooing as soon as this is done.
Totally.
Yeah.
But it probably helped with opening a new shop and getting clientele and all that. So people knew you from the show and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it made me feel like, well, if I'm gonna like go back to like I am gonna go back to tattooing, so I should be as like truthful as I can about what it is. What I just wanted to show it in a good light. Hopefully, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Memoir Tattoo.
Memoir is awesome.
Beautiful shop. Beautiful location. So nice.
Yeah, we love our shop. And we have
to your man Sean Barber, incredible artist, painter, everything. Like, how did you guys meet?
We met on the show.
Oh, he was on the show too?
He was so Sean painted Cat on Miami Ink. Yeah, so he painted like the cat with multiple arms.
Okay, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
That was hanging in the shop. And then him and Henry Lewis came to the grand opening of High Voltage.
Gotcha.
And so, it's very like, casual. He did say, he's like, I'd like to paint you. He knew me from, it wasn't like a pickup line or anything. It's
a sick pickup line. Though.
It wasn't a pickup line. We were friends for a couple of years before we started dating. But, I had to poach a boyfriend from San Francisco because I just couldn't meet one in Los Angeles.
I do think that if it wasn't aligned, it's pretty sick. I like to paint you. It's very, I don't know. It's kind of sick. It's kind of a sick line though, because you knew he was a painter and he could do that. But yeah.
Yeah.
And so he did paint a picture of you?
He did. It's in our.
Is that before you started dating or after?
No, it was before. It was before
we
started dating. Yeah.
Was it a good painting of you?
Yeah. I mean, he's a great painter.
He's
like,
incredible.
I'll never like any photo or painting or anything of myself. So there's that. So it's just like, oh, don't like just put something over let's drape a sheet over it.
Yeah. Where's that painting now? Where is it?
I think it's in our house.
Okay.
No, it might be in our
I can
storage.
see it.
Yeah.
So the shop you guys had since 2009, right?
2009 we opened.
Wow.
Yeah. And
It's a long time.
It is a long time. I'm so glad we've made it this long. And it's just like a secret. I love a shop. Like I love going there, and it's almost like a secret little clubhouse.
It really is. It really is. And that location's so nice. The neighborhood's so nice. You would never expect a tattoo shop in that neighborhood where you're at.
Yeah. No, we lucked out.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
You got the fishes by that one spot you walk by. Yeah. Are they still there?
They are.
Wow.
Yeah, the goldfish, and there's like
you walk to Ear One, spend all your money in one shot.
Do it every day.
Me too. There's so much good stuff at Ear One. It's like people make fun of it. It's like on SNL now. Everybody comes to a lady get the Hilly Bieber smoothie and all that stuff, but it's just like.
Have you had it?
No. Have you?
No.
Okay. I haven't had either.
No, but it's halfway between there and my house, so it's like no matter what, I can't escape Ear One.
I know. You have a post office there. You have Ear One. You have Whole Foods. You have the Grove. It's just such a great.
I love it.
Everywhere.
I love it. I love like not having to drive anywhere.
They just tore down Ross too by Whole Foods. You saw that?
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're building apartments there or something, but
yeah.
it came out or something.
Yeah,
it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy around this neighborhood, and a huge I don't know how many story building, like kind of kitty corner from CBS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
you can't really see your shop if you're on Beverly. That's what's kind of interesting, right? It's behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the back of a building.
Did you ever want to put a sign out front somehow on Beverly or not?
We have a little placard.
Okay.
We just have a little sign. So not to, we don't want to be obnoxious. We kind of respect the neighbors. And
if you know, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And we don't have a front desk person. Everybody kind of, they work for themselves. They come and go as they please. So, and, most of our artists are only there a day or two or a week. Like most of them do 2 days a week.
Your neighbors are cool.
Yeah, our neighbors are great. And but it it's custom. I just would want to make I made the shop. Me and Sean made the shop the way we would want to. We treat the artists the way we would want to be treated.
Yeah,
that was kind of the goal. I was like, what's the kind of scenario we would want to work in? Like this.
Yeah.
And then hope that people appreciate it and come on board. And we have awesome people. So. No,
I've been there a couple of times. I got tattooed by you there. It's an awesome shop. Beautiful. That might have been not the pandemic, but not far after. I remember getting tattooed there by you or something. Who knows? Yep. I had some notes. I got some deep diving on you from some friends of yours.
Oh no.
You were called Kimmy May when you were a kid?
That's my middle name.
I know. But that you were called kind of hillbilly childhood.
Shit.
Is that true?
Yeah, my mom's from the South, and my dad is 100% Lebanese, so I'm kind of an odd mix.
Wow.
He's from Chicago.
That's a cool mix, yeah.
Hmm.
You have an unnatural fear of vomit?
Oh my gosh, who did you talk to?
I will tell you after. Yeah, you fear vomit, huh? Moon does too. Moon can't watch it on TV. She freaks out.
I do too. I do too. You will never see anyone move so fast. If I feel like someone's about to throw up in my vicinity.
Is it from something as a kid or something? What do you think it's from?
I don't know. I like the sound.
Have you ever thrown up before?
Oh yeah, I cry. I used to cry.
I cry too. I'll throw up as an adult and I'll cry in the bathroom. I swear, it's such a weird thing. I start tearing up and stuff. It's the worst. Dry heave and all. Let's not talk about it.
It's true.
But your whole life you had that fear of vomit?
A long time.
Damn.
Yeah. And I got that stomach bug this winter, and and it was just it was kind of that moment of oh, it's gonna happen.
Oh my god.
And
it had happened.
It happened.
So yeah, you can't get scared of yourself when you do it because you're doing it.
You just have to accept it.
But other people are doing it, and then we see other people do it, then somebody else sees them and they do it too. All that stuff freaks me out too.
Who did you talk to?
And you obviously love cats over people. We know that.
Oh, that's right.
You're a cat person your whole life?
Yes, my whole life, cats.
No dogs?
No, I love dogs. I like all animals.
Yeah, but cats are your favorite.
Cats are my favorite.
I wish I loved cats.
Have you seen my cats?
Your cats are sick. Yeah, I've seen your cats. Some cats
are you allergic?
No, I just know I had a cat growing up named Scratchy.
Oh.
As a child, and maybe I had some trauma. I never had that cat. I've never had a cat since I had Scratchy. It's interesting. I always had dogs. Yeah. Okay. Cats are cool though.
Yeah.
I love animals over people. You know that.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. So yeah, Kimmy May. That's a cute name though.
My aunt Edna called me that. She still calls me that, Kimmy May.
Maybe I talked to her.
Yeah, but I mean, it was I don't know what my parents were thinking when they named me because my last name is Saigh, and it's it's a rhyme. My middle name rhymes with my last name. Mm-hmm.
And you're a big metalhead. We know that.
Love metal.
Caius is your top.
Well, I mean, that was like, that
Back
was
then?
like, yeah, I mean, 20s, so like, a lot of stuff's happening. I feel like, you have these bands that are just like, songs. It's like your anthems and your soundtracks of certain periods of your life. And, but yeah, I love the stoner rock. Even though I don't smoke, not into weed like at all. Like I'm just
No
like,
edibles?
but I love the stoner rock. No,
So no weed. You don't really party? You drink wine?
nothing.
You don't drink or nothing?
You know what? The last time I drank was my birthday. I turned 50 and I had all this like social anxiety. And I'm like, no one's going to show up at my party. You didn't, by the way.
Sorry. I must have been somewhere. I've been there.
You or Moon did not show up. You were invited.
When was this? When's your birthday?
June 25th.
Oh, yeah. It's on my list.
Okay. Yeah.
I might drop this podcast on your birthday. We'll see. We're coming for 51st. Where was your birthday party at? Where was it?
St. Felix. My friend John's bar in Hollywood. Okay. Yeah.
Did you drink on your 50th?
I did because I was like, I got to talk to people. I was so nervous. And I'm like, there's only one way this is going to go down. So I just started like drinking the white wine with ice cubes, like a
Did you have social
middle-aged woman, huh?
Did you have social anxiety before the pandemic?
Yeah. I have it now.
Even when you're on the TV show and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Wow. That must have been really hard for you then.
Yeah. I think the only thing, honestly, I feel like the only thing that's been like, that's helped me is like having to talk to people every day. And you just realize how like we're all kind of in the same boat together 100%. And we've all got like our struggles. I was texting you a bunch
during that time. We text all the time. Like, what's going on? What are you guys doing? Like all that stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It did. I feel like I got so weird. I feel like I got so weird during the pandemic. Like just more neurotic, like about the things that I'm neurotic about.
What's it called when you stay home all the time?
Recluse.
You become that?
I was kind of that already. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I've been working so much. So no, I'm not a recluse.
Yeah, you're with people every day. You're tattooing people.
Yeah, I'm like working like nonstop. And then, and I go work out and I do that sort of thing.
Yeah, Runyon, man. That's our thing.
Yeah.
What's like some of your daily rituals? I know you're doing yoga for a while. I know you're doing Pilates for a while. You're lifting weights. I can see your arms. Your arms look better than my arms. I keep it real with you. Your arms
thank
look great. You. And you probably do like hiking. You don't run.
No, I don't run. I wake up, I draw every morning.
How early you wake up?
6.
Damn, you go to bed early, huh?
Yeah, like 9:30, 10. I wake up by 6, and then I'm like drawing in the morning and returning emails, doing any kind of like admin work. Then I go work out. I lift weights a few times a week at this place called Lift Society, and they have an awesome program. So I go there, and sometimes I'll pop into the Greek class or I'll go hiking. I just kind of see, and sometimes I just work out at home.
What about Barry's boot camp?
I've never done it.
You seem like somebody could kill that. You probably do really good at that. I never done it too, but I know my friends do.
Don't they have to run though?
That's a good question. I'm not sure about that. What about climbing? You do climbing stuff?
I would love to climb.
My son does that. He loves it.
Really? I'm afraid of heights, but I think I would like
afraid of heights. Okay.
Yeah, I think I would like to try bouldering though. I think I like the puzzle, and it was like I like figuring out how to do things. Like it's just something I enjoy.
You do puzzles, you said?
No, physical thing.
I
like trying to figure out how to do physical things with my body. I think that's why I enjoyed, the more advanced yoga postures. I mean, I love the simple ones too, but I think that was like kind of where my head would go. Is I like trying to figure out how to do things.
What about like breathing and stuff? Like do breath work and stuff like that?
Not enough, but the breath work is amazing.
Or meditation?
Not enough, but to me, like, yeah, I need more of a moving meditation.
Yeah.
Or even to me, like you can just be walking and like.
That's true.
I feel like, yeah.
What about like you do cold plunges or saunas or ice baths?
I want to try. I've never done it.
We have to do it.
Okay.
We have to do it.
I've done cryo.
Oh yeah, this is different.
I love physical stuff. Like I like I'll experiment any kind of weird.
Pushing yourself.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
What about therapy? You believe in therapy?
Like mental therapy,
yeah.
Like that kind of. I've never done it. I probably should have. Yeah, I probably should have.
I just went for the first time. Yeah, my whole life.
What'd you think?
For the listeners, they think I go all the time. I've been 3 times. I went when I first got there. It was just like the consultation. I just started spilling out my whole entire life. And the lady's like, she's like, "There's a consultation." I'm like tearing up, talking about my dad and shit. And then I went back and had another one, and that was great. And then she gave me a book to read, which I'm a terrible reader. I should be reading more. I have a book called Grandchildren of Alcoholic Grandparents. So that's the book. That's some of the layers we in the first session peeled off about my mom and how she was raised, how she was treated, all that stuff. So yeah, it's kind of I'm kind of worried about the layer thing, like starting to pull back things. What if I find something out that I blocked out as a kid? I wish I knew, you know what I'm saying? That stuff kind of trips me out.
Yeah, I wonder about that. You know what though? I'm kind of like, I kind of like my, like I'm pretty OCD. Sean's pretty OCD too. I kind of like that about myself. Like, it's like, it can suck, but also it can make you get things done. And I think I didn't come from a family that would probably go to therapy. Yeah. So I think I kind of just feel like I've had to figure things out, and maybe it takes longer to do that. But I also feel like, there's just something you get out about, having to work through something.
I know.
And sometimes
are you scared to go or no?
I don't know. Maybe I should, just to see what it's about.
You ever thought about going to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm already so in my head. I feel like I'm like, do I need to rehash this again in front of another person? Or do I need to just do the things that I know?
The work.
Like, yeah, like it's like if there's, something needs to be done, it's like you still need to do that thing. Like, you can't dodge it. You can't walk around it. At some point, you have to just face those things. And I'm sure there are people that can help you do that. But, I feel like I like doing it on my own.
Yeah.
I probably should be in therapy, though.
Yeah. You seem like somebody that would do that. Yeah. I don't know why.
What?
Because you're so in tune with your body and all that stuff. And
I would go to therapy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe it's just being a, suck it up Gen Xer that just takes this is what you do. This is what you deal with.
Are you an emotional person?
I used to be a lot more emotional. I can't, the only things that can make me cry, I can hear a note or two of a song and just tears will start welling up in my eyes. But I won't cry at sad movies and stuff like that.
A song would do it to me too, though.
Interesting, right?
Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel for some reason.
Interesting.
A Cyndi Lauper song. I don't know why. Maybe some childhood shit. I don't know. Yeah,
it takes to me, it's like that, teletransports you to a very specific moment where, you heard that song or you were hearing that song at a certain time when you felt a certain way.
From a certain band?
I would say Imagine almost always gets me.
It's a beautiful song. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
an incredible song. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me think.
It's okay, but just sometimes even Blackbirds by Beatles made me emotional.
Oh yeah.
I saw my son perform that when he was a kid in school, and it came on the movie the other day. I was like, we watched I Am Sam the other day for some silly reason. Sean Penn, you seen that back in the day with Dakota Fanning?
No, I didn't see that.
It's so heavy and emotional. It's oh my god, and we watched it with my son. I've never seen my son get emotional like that. And then the song came on. I was like, oh my god, get me out of here. Just stuff like that. I've always been an emotional person, though. I don't know.
Same. I am. I think, but I've worked around. I've tried to harden that.
Yeah.
And not be so affected by it, but I still feel it. I feel like the years of yoga that you that I've practiced. I feel like it. There is something about kind of. They would say be like Teflon, let it move off of you, let it move through you.
Yeah.
And maybe I think I'm doing that and it's still sitting inside me and I'm just not admitting it. But
also you exercise
I try.
a lot and that helps get things out when you exercise for sure.
I am loaded with anxiety. So I feel like that's
What's that from?
Only way to burn it off is to do something physical.
Are you stressed about the world?
I just think about everything all the time. I'm really good at worrying.
About the future?
Everything. Yeah, you name it.
You worry about shit you have no control over.
Absolutely.
That's what I learned through the pandemic not to do. I started seeing all my shows and tours get canceled. I'm like, I'm not going to worry and stress about things I have absolutely zero control over. It's not going to help me at all.
That's true.
It's so hard to do that, but that taught me that for sure. The pandemic taught me that.
Yeah. I did okay when business dropped off and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I don't have another career. I don't have a backup career. I started having this major panic and then I was like, you know what? You're going to go for walks again and you're going to go take a yoga class at noon.
Time for yourself.
Yeah. You're going to do what you did the first 3 months of the pandemic and you're going to conserve your spending and you're just going to do things that you're just going to reel it in.
Maybe that's why you're not a parent too, because you worry already just without even being a parent.
Oh my God.
I can't imagine you as a parent because you'd be kid to be in a bubble.
Oh, I couldn't. Yeah, I think that's why.
Baby wipes and it's everything, you'd be stressing out.
Yeah, I'm like that now.
You are still?
Yeah.
Are you a germaphobe?
A little bit. I don't know how. I mean,
But
I deal
before
with
the pandemic?
human blood. Like,
I know.
right?
What about doctors? You like going to doctors?
I go.
How about dentist?
I go
You have
all
good
the
teeth.
regular.
You have
Yeah.
good teeth.
Thank you. I try and like, I do my checkups because I feel like, I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's a thing. Like that's a, I know women that have like never had a mammogram before, and it's like, how have you not done that? Like, I mean, and I guess people do things like in the time
You're up
that
to
they.
date on all your checkups. You're up to date on everything.
Yeah, I do all that.
Are you afraid of death?
I think so. Yeah.
I am too.
Knock on
Some
wood.
people say they can't wait.
Knock
I'm
on
like,
wood.
Yeah, knock on wood, because but I'm like, I want to be here forever. I don't want to get morbid, but like I'm seeing my son grow. I see the age I'm becoming. I see how many more years I have left, how many years he has, and like I want to be here watching. Am I going to be up in the sky watching? Who knows? I hope so. Afterlife, all that stuff. Like it's.
Yeah, there's so much I want to see unfold.
But I don't stress about it.
No,
yeah.
No, I try not to, but there's just so much of life I want to see unfold, and it's a story that can only happen in its own time. So you just can't you can't predict anything.
But you don't seem like a stressed out person. You carry your stress well.
Do I?
Yeah, you don't look stressed at all.
Oh, I'm like, oh man, I hope I don't have like a heart attack or something. Like, no, I am. I'm always a very like I'm kind of always a little.
You hypochondriac?
I can be, but I try not to be.
I was really bad, and I feel like it's rubbing off on my son sometimes. And my moon's always like, "That's you," and it sucks because any other thing happens. Oh my god, I was like that too. My whole life. I don't know. It's weird.
What do you think it is? Do you think it's just control like issues?
If you want to know why, it's super dark. Like my dad died. My dad went to the hospital and never came home. And so I never had closure with my father and never went to the funeral and never had anything because I was 3 years old. And then I kept worrying my mom was going to die. So I've always been scared to death my whole life. 100%.
Sure.
That's why I'm going to therapy. That kind of trauma shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, the fear of death, hospitals, all that. I hate the hospitals.
Oh my God. Hospitals are just like.
And that's why I stay healthy and work out and try to avoid any of that shit. You know what I mean? Just live totally clean and just like.
Yep.
But I'm not avoiding doing crazy shit because I'm scared of dying. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still skateboarding, I'm still doing all this other shit, playing music. I'm not gonna die playing music, but I don't know. I feel like all that makes me want to stay young and feel like a kid.
For sure.
And still do the things I love. And
yeah, I want to live a spirited life. Like to me, music's instant for that. But
yeah, did you ever play music though? Or want to play music?
I just didn't have that natural skill. Like it just didn't come to me naturally. So maybe if I had a regret later in life, it's that I was
gonna ask what regrets are next.
Learn to play an instrument, probably
a guitar or something.
That or like taking like this is gonna sound crazy, like gymnastics when I was a kid.
Yeah, Moon.
I always loved watching that.
Yeah, it's cool to watch.
Yeah.
I got pictures of Moon on top of like these big triangle things. She did all that stuff. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. So that's like your main regret for you? You think?
Yeah. I mean, maybe buying a house when interest rates were 0% and, no, but like nothing big.
Yeah.
Like no big, but yeah, like if I could go back and do something, I'd play an instrument for sure.
Yeah. Cause you love music so much.
Yeah, I do.
What about singing? Do you sing at all?
I don't sing.
I feel like you have a good voice, though. I don't know.
Oh.
Just because your talking voice is so soothing.
Oh, thank you.
I wonder if like you could sing. You sing in the shower or no?
I sing to my cats.
Okay. Do you like other types of music?
They're like, fuck.
Do you like other types of music that's not hard? Do you like some melodic, emotional music or pop music or?
I mean, I like stuff.
Do you like Sade? Do you like stuff like that or Adele or?
No, I don't listen to that. No, I
you.
don't listen to that. No, I don't know why.
Madonna?
I just can't do it. No, but I do like old music. I mean, I saw Madonna. Yeah.
Recently?
No. I saw her
recently.
when I was like 14, I think.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. It was La Isla Bonita, like that era of her.
That's
and
awesome.
She did like all the costume changes, and my friend's mom bought her like 5 tickets to take friends to see the show. And it was a pretty magnificent show. So like I know like when you see these big ginormous productions, what goes into them is just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Like so sometimes it's just worth going to see just for that alone.
Totally.
Like, it's amazing what like people can do.
Yeah.
I mean it's totally like off subject, but like when you were talking about you hate hospitals.
Yeah.
That was like such a pivotal moment for me. Was when my dad had quadruple bypass.
Oh wow.
And being in the hospital and just seeing the machines that keep people alive and just just how in the moment the nurses have to live and the doctors have to that intensity is so, it just makes me feel like what I do is like, you draw on people, like not that important. But I feel like those people don't get enough credit. What they do is insanity. Like that is.
Yeah, especially during the last couple of years, all that stuff is crazy.
Right.
Yeah, the hospitals are just like,
They scare the shit out of me.
And needles too, and they were covered in tattoos. I hate needles. I hate all that stuff. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to go. Like, we're pretty healthy. That's why I want to stay healthy,
Right.
So your blood pressure's good, all that stuff, because you're super stressed all the time. I mean,
yeah.
You drink coffee too?
My blood pressure's low.
You drink coffee? Drink coffee
all the time. Got a quad shot right there.
Because that doesn't help any of the stress too. That can cause anxiety, just so you know. And I quit coffee last November. I was getting jittery, shittery, all that, getting anxiety, and I quit all that, and it changed my life. I sleep so good now.
Oh,
all
really?
That stuff. Yeah. But you're drinking coffee at 5 p.m, which is nuts because I heard the rules were you're not supposed to drink coffee after 3 p.m. That's true. How many coffees do you have a day?
Usually like about 7 shots of espresso.
Okay, listen to me. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm your friend. I think that caffeine does not help anxiety. I'm not a doctor. You can check on Huber and ask him, but like, you ever think about quitting caffeine or no? That's the only thing you do though, probably.
It is it's like, I'm going to be on a podcast. I have to go get my security blanket. So I went.
That's what it is.
Got my security blanket with me.
So that makes you feel secure and not nervous.
It does. It really does. I totally understand why people have like the cigarette. Like they have to have a cigarette in their hand. Like,
I mean, caffeine is like, it's a drug, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
People say it is. People say it's not. Depends, I feel like caffeine in like a green tea is like natural, but I don't know why the difference between caffeine and coffee versus tea. I don't know.
But this is much more delicious and, rich. And
are you a coffee snob? A coffee connoisseur?
Yeah.
You make your own coffee?
I do. But I mean, it's kind of, I make Nespresso. I just have an espresso machine.
Is that bad for the listeners who love coffee?
Well, I mean, it's just a little pod,
Oh, yeah. I see we had pods here before. My son loves, yeah.
Yeah. A little espresso pod. I mean, they're good.
But not black coffee for you?
No.
That's gnarly.
No, I can't do that. But I like the foam and I like, I like all that. I'm pretty.
You also probably like going there. It's the routine.
It's a routine. It's a ritual.
Same as Moon when she was addicted to Big Gulps. Going to 7-Eleven every day. It's getting the ice and the cup. You know what I mean? Going to 7-Eleven and not even finishing the Big Gulp, but just getting it. It's just part of her everyday life.
It's just something. There's just something. I feel like we do those things to kind of ground us and give us some sense of, stability or ritual. Like,
yeah,
I feel like it just feels like the Wild West. Like humanity just doesn't have like these things that keep us like, it's like we just look for all these external things.
Yeah, it's true.
To keep us like, on some kind of
focused or going or alive or everything. Feel safe.
Yep.
Anxiety. I mean, you'd rather drink coffee than be on a bunch of medication, for anxiety and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was thinking, I'm 50. I'll be 51 in a few months. And
Respect.
Yeah, I mean,
50s are great.
I think so.
We're doing great. We're thriving in our 50s.
I think we're doing pretty good. But I
never thought in my 50s I'd be feeling so great and just feeling, I don't know, running and just. I'm gonna do my first marathon this year. All that stuff. Yeah.
When?
I don't know. Towards the end of the year, it's my goal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I never would have done. I don't know. It's just weird. I just feel good. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like I'm coming into life with like caring less about what other people think and like just like like now's the time. Do it now.
Have you always been worried about what people think about you?
I didn't think I did, but I care so much less now that it makes me realize like, oh, I guess I did care.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize it.
Yeah. Just strangers, or just like people, your friends or people at the shop or just yourself. Maybe it's your own thing, right? I guess worried about.
Yeah. Just like I need to, whatever. Like, yeah, I guess I just cared. I guess I just was cognizant of it, whether I let it affect me or not. I was aware of it. And now it's like I'm just a lot more unapologetic about being myself.
Mm-hmm. What about getting old? That stress you out?
I mean, I'm watching my parents age, and that's very hard.
Yeah, same. My mom too.
And but it makes you want to make certain choices. It makes you like, want to stay as healthy as you can.
Yeah.
But I don't want to, there's things I don't want. I don't want to be diabetic. Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you just start making like life change. I don't want to be on medication. I don't want to be on.
Yeah.
I want to stay mobile and strong, and I want to. I don't want to be a victim.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be calling my own shots as long as I can.
Yeah. Boss lady.
We don't know what. Yeah. Am I? I don't know.
We've been your own boss most of your life, though, it seems.
Yeah. I don't think even if I didn't do it so well, it's still on my terms.
Yeah, you're not checking in with anybody. You're not punching a card. You're not doing what you don't love. You're doing what you love still. And it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
I think that keeps you young, too.
I think so, too. I think it's just like having like a, just having that ability to say, you know what, I need to take like 2 weeks off and go do this, or, I just need to come in later for whatever reason. Like I like having that option of just
it's nice
deciding what my time,
freedom,
where my time is going to go. Because time is like the most precious commodity.
It really is. And that's something I realized as I get older for sure. The time thing, man.
Yeah.
I never thought about time ever when I was a kid.
No. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you're just like, the clock is ticking. I'm 50. Like, I got to do the things I want to do now. And I think just pandemic sort of robbed people of a couple of years.
Yeah. So
that kind of compounded it.
Yeah, is there certain things you want to do? You have like a bucket list of things you want to do?
Do I have a bucket list? I don't.
No.
I feel like I knock on wood, I kind of like my life. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, more of it. Yeah. See my family as much as I can between, like as long as they're here.
Are you still getting tattooed?
Yeah, I want more tattoos. I'm glad I have a lot of room. So
I know your arms, so it's really arms have a lot too. It's cool.
Yeah, I have a lot of room. So, and Christina's reworking my arm right now. We need to do a session, but I want my legs done. I don't have anything on my legs.
Nothing on your legs?
I have a little bit on my lower legs. I have my lower legs done, but I don't have my upper legs done.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad I have room. You know, like I don't because now I can have fresh tattoos. And
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really
That's
cool.
why I'm erasing some now to have more room. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I always get a little bit like, when I see people like getting a lot of tattoos really fast, I'm like, save some space because you might want it. There's going to be amazing artists coming up 10, 20 years from now that you might want something from. So you might
100% slow down. Yeah. My wife always told me that. Slow down. You're going too fast. And then here I am totally covered. It's just like I got some random spots left that are like, just looking at them, they're painful. I'm like, I'm not even going there. Nobody's going to see it, but I see it. If I see myself naked or something, or a picture, I'm like, there's a spot right there. I freak out about it. Oh, it's weird. It's just like finishing the puzzle.
Sean's on his second layer.
Really?
Yeah, he's on his second layer.
Of his whole body?
I mean, he's getting tattoos over tattoos.
I was doing that too, yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, some of it looks awesome. Like, and it's just like, oh yeah, you just get to kind of reinvent yourself. And
the blackout stuff, it looks cool in some people, but I also heard it's really intense for your immune system. I heard it's like it's really draining. Like, I can't see that on me, but I just saw like Machine Gun Kelly get his whole body done. There's a bunch of people doing it. It's really popular now. I don't know where that came from, if you know where it came from.
I mean, so I can't, I don't know. I just
know where it came from.
It like, to me, it really seals your fate. Like,
you cannot remove that. That's not getting lasered.
It's too much. Like, it's like, if you can't go back on that one.
Nah. You can, but that's going to be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do think what you said, it's like your skin needs to still function as a elimination organ. And like, you need to sweat. You need to like remove toxins through it.
Totally.
Like, and if you're like, I don't know. I think it's a lot for your lymph nodes. I don't even like tattooing people underneath their armpits.
Really?
I don't. I really don't. Like, it's just, to me, I just want to leave some spots for.
So you won't do armpits?
I don't know. I mean, I think you could do something like a spider web or something.
That's
like
what I have.
Dainty, like
Moon has a flower. Yeah.
She does. Yeah. Is it dense?
Yeah, it's nice. It's like not super thick. Yeah, it's nice and thin.
But Moon's got other areas that she's not like.
No.
She's not like wall to wall ink.
Yeah.
Like, her skin can, like, there's still room to like breathe. Right?
And I wonder, like, I saw something too recently. They said something about tattoos or ink can cause this and that. All this stuff's coming out. All this research, but who knows what was in my tattoos in the 80s? Because people say sometimes the shops use like motor oil. Who knows what was in the ink back in the day? Because I know it's plant-based now. There's a bunch of different options for tattoo ink, but who knows what's in my skin from back then, man?
I know. Well, I also think I think about breathing in the air that we breathe, and like just the exhaust from cars and the ingredients that have been in like lotions and hair dye. And anytime I go into like a nail salon or something like that, I'm like, this shit is awful. Like no one should be putting this on, like acetone and like all that stuff, lacquers and the stuff that breaks that down seems so much worse than anything that goes in the skin.
That's a good point.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, even like, I feel bad sometimes getting a manicure for the person doing it. Cause I'm like, I don't want to make that person breathe this for another hour.
Mm-hmm. It's intense.
Yeah. Like,
and they wear a mask too. So it's still intense though.
Oh, it's awful. Like, yeah.
That's a good point though.
I hardly ever go anymore. Like, I'm just like, this just seems like this is just one I still get my hair dyed. But
I used to get mani pennies a lot. And then my place closed down. It was a nice spot on the corner. A whole group of girls opened it right by my house. I used to go there all the time, and it got shut down during the pandemic. It never opened up. I never got a mani penny in like 4 years. I should get one. I was always doing that. Just for this.
But they feel good.
Yeah, just for the listeners, man. It's okay if dudes get it too. Your wife doesn't want crusty ass toes in bed, or like it's important to keep your stuff nice. But yeah, the tattooing, I know that I was like, oh, I have vegan ink. I'm like, okay, so the ink in my body from the 80s has meat in it. Like, what was in the ink back in the 80s? It's not plant-based.
Oh, I think it was the animal glycerin, like animal-based glycerin, you know.
So I'm really not vegan then. Damn.
Yeah, but I mean, there's it's vegetable glycerin. So like, if there's, you know. So yeah, there's going to be a lot that needs to happen in that, like with regulation. And
you think they used motor oil back then? Who knows, right?
Who knows? I mean,
in the 80s?
Maybe. I mean, they were doing a lot of things wrong in the 80s, you know, like if they were wearing gloves, they were wearing vinyl ones.
Yeah.
You know, like it was,
if they were wearing gloves,
at all.
Like, or smoking in the shop.
I'm sure they were wearing vinyl gloves at that point.
Smoking in the shop.
Oh, yeah. All that stuff.
Damn. You know Cindy from Peter Tattoo back in the day? Ever heard of Cindy?
I don't.
Cindy Tremble?
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Cindy. She did like my first tattoos on us and the Sick of It All guys in 1988 when I was 18.
Wow.
Got my first tattoo from her in Deer Park, Long Island at Peter Tattoo.
Wow.
She's an OG. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in the game for a long time. And remember Andrea?
Yeah. Andrea Elston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She tattooed a bunch of my friends. Yeah. In New York.
I mean, I think about like, there was only a handful of us coming up when I started. There was like, you know, like Michelle Miles, Jennifer Billig, Deb Brody. Like, I'm trying to think of who else. I don't want to forget anyone, but like, there wasn't a lot. And then, you know, but the ladies before me, like Carrie Barba and you know, even, you know, like Patty Kelly, there were so many, Julie Moon at the time, Vivian Lazanga. And, it was just like, it was Kate Helen Brand, like who's even before that. Like what they went through, like, it's just like, it gets
as
better.
Tattooing,
yeah, for sure.
It was probably hard for
losing my voice. Huh?
It's probably hard for them to come in too, right? Probably.
I mean, I was like, I can't imagine what they dealt with. Like, so they made it easier for me, you know.
Yeah, paved the way.
And then I think, you know, probably made it easier for some of the girls that are coming in now.
Probably to prove themselves more too.
Yeah, a little, like, for sure. I mean, it's always been, you know, it's a little boys club. Like,
it's always been that.
You're always outnumbered. You're always outnumbered.
I feel like on this podcast, with a lot of my guests that are women, it's been like that for everything: music, skateboarding, every freaking thing you could do for women getting into anything that's like got to prove themselves, because the boys are skateboarders or musicians and all that stuff. It kind of sucks, but like just hearing it from a women's perspective, like then it makes you want to go even harder. They're like, fuck you, I'm gonna kill this. You know?
Kind of, yeah, because it's like, oh, there's 5 people at a shop and one of them is a girl, like, so you are outnumbered by, like, in terms of like conversation and just what's happening and stylistically and the, you know, like it just is what it is, and you just have to. You know, I'm glad I figured out how to do it, you know, and be in it. But, you know, I just remember early, like people would come in and look at me. I don't want a girl doing my tattoo. Like there was some of that, like, you know, and baby face too. Like, I don't want a young girl doing my tattoo. Like, no way. I mean, maybe, but I was
back then.
Yeah. I was as competent as the people I was working with.
Yeah, that's why you're in the shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's crazy. And there's so many women tattoo artists now.
Yeah. There's so many great ones. It's awesome.
All everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, I actually think there's more women tattooers that I want to get tattooed by now than guys, which I didn't used to be the case. But now I'm just like, oh, wow, there's some really, really amazing. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So,
it's such a different world with tattoos. I mean, they're everywhere. Like I was saying, The guy at the Trader Joe's on the street has his eyelids tattooed, his neck tattooed. My FedEx guy had a neck tattoo the other day. I was like, this is crazy. These are like real jobs.
I love it.
I love it too. And now it's just like, you can't have a job stop unless you got your whole entire face tattooed. I don't even know if that's even, you could still get hired. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows, you know?
Right.
Tattoos are everywhere.
Going back to when you were talking about, what's his name? Machine Gun Kelly.
All blacked out tattoos, yeah.
Yeah. I do love Rox's work. I think Rox is
That's the guy who did it?
The female artist, but
okay.
yeah, she does like
she did his blackout.
She does blackouts, but like they're very artistic. It's not just like a limb colored in black.
They're showing some of his tats. It's like a cross on them. It's really cool, actually.
They're interesting shapes and like they're very like I do like her stuff.
She's in LA.
I think she's part-time here, maybe part-time. She's from Europe, so I remember her coming into Cherry Bomb eons ago. Like
his looks.
She was living in Amsterdam and.
Even Davey Havoc from AFI, he did that same thing with his arms, and he has some other ones popping out on the insides.
Oh, did he leave some room?
Yeah. Have you seen this thing where people are getting put under to put sleep? They're getting put to sleep, and then their full bodies are getting tattooed.
Do you like?
It's a new thing.
Yeah. No, I've seen it. It's right across from where I take Pilates.
They're doing it there.
Yeah, it's like Ganga. It's like right across from Legrand.
So first, it must cost crazy money to do that.
Yeah. And
then you wake up, you have a full back piece.
Right. You can't even stop and look in the mirror and be like, hey, dude, I don't like
No.
You're just like, you get what you get.
You get what you get.
Do you think, this occurred to me.
I don't think I could do that.
Do you think sometimes people are doing it for content? Like,
probably.
What a way to like, just, blow up your views. I went under, like,
For me, it's like, it's the whole experience of getting tattooed. It's the pain. It's the sound. It's the smell. It's everything. The vibrations. It's the conversations. It's, you know what I'm saying? For me,
absolutely,
because I'm older and I've been doing it for a long time. But people just want to have the whole body. They want to have the look. It's not the story. It's the look. Like you said, it's like for the views. It's for look at me. I'm tatted up. They want to create like a history of themselves. Like I'm fully tatted. You don't know what I've been through. I've got my neck, my face already, and I look like this certain person who I idolize, but I didn't put any work or time into it. I just got it done in one shot. It's interesting, man. It's not really part of the journey.
No, it's just a look. It's not,
Yeah. It's like just like the right bag and the right sneakers and the right, I don't know, belt. You know what I'm saying? Like my Louis belt and my shoes, and then I got the neck tat. I don't know. It's crazy. It's like fashion.
Yeah, what happens when your fashion sense changes? Like,
yeah.
Like, because it wasn't a slow...
It wasn't
a slow evolution.
Would you tattoo somebody's face as their first tattoo?
Hell no.
No, and that's a thing. Like kids are fully...
Hell no.
Hands, face.
Yeah.
When I see people like with their shirts off and they just have their hands in their face and their bodies are naked, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's this generation. It's different.
I think that this generation will take big steps just to have internet content.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird. Like it's not kind of weird. It's,
for us, it's because we're a different generation.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting thing to have to like reckon with, I think, later in life.
Well, that's what a lot of people getting their tattoos removed too these days.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of tattoo parties people are having, different celebrities are doing hand poked, and it's crazy.
I have cover-ups. I have but I look at my tattoos and I'm like, I wish that was like brighter or whatever. Like it's still part of me, and I accept it, and I can't picture myself without tattoos. Like if I didn't have these, I'd just have different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to like the shop, like I love a tattoo shop. Like I feel like it's almost like kind of like when the regulars start coming in, and then sometimes like, two artists will have like the same regulars around the same time because they're coming in like maybe once a month, and so like they get to know each other, and it's almost like it's almost like going to a bar, but not.
Yeah, totally.
It's little bit of an escape. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes people come to the shop as like just a place to get away.
I think so too.
Yeah, little bit of a safe haven, but
you're like a therapist for them.
Feels kind of cool. I don't want that responsibility.
Well, they're telling you their stories when they're getting tattooed, and they're venting to you while you're getting tattooed, telling you about their lives.
Yeah. I mean,
intimate things.
They're kind of therapists for me too sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
So I feel like without the tattoo though, all that goes away. Like there's something about like, I feel like getting through the process together and making this thing, and like, you survived it, like, you endured it, I did it, we got through it. I don't know if it were just like if they were just to come and sit and tell me all their problems, if it would be the same thing.
Yeah. But you actually, so you make this bond, have this connection with that person too, though.
Yeah, it's
forever,
awesome.
like you did that with them and this experience,
It's awesome. Yeah.
So like the whole getting put under, then waking up and like never talking to the person, your back's totally done. You walk out with a full back piece. It's crazy, man.
And you got like 6 people working on you. And
yeah,
to
6
be honest,
people.
You're right. I mean, and it sounds like
I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to see that as being fully tattooed throughout my whole life and just collecting and seeing like the one-shot stuff. Also, I saw the video where 6 people are tattooing somebody, and then somebody else is putting in gold teeth in his mouth. There's a dentist at the top by his head, and then tattoos. It's a real thing. It's so crazy.
Wow.
So you're getting dental done while you're getting tattooed.
I want to know what like it's like the next day or like the next week. Like what kind of like what's the recovery like? Is that like
it's gonna be so draining?
Yeah, I just want to know what happens.
You lift notes, all that stuff.
I think I will say the when I've seen like large tattoos done, like where 6 people are doing them, they don't look that good.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say that, but I mean they're obviously like good tattooers. They're great tattooers, but there's something about like where everything meets up is disjointed because the thing wasn't laid out.
Yeah, it's interesting. Oh, and other people are doing it. You have to stay together. Yeah, piece it together.
Yeah, they're kind of like maybe
people doing their own thing, and then like, oops.
Maybe they're rotating, but it's like I feel like nothing done that fast is ever going to be as good as it could be if you just took your time.
But it'd be different if it was like the outline was done by one person, then they colored in like a coloring book. I don't know, that might be easier to stay in the lines and just not mess it up. But I know what you're saying. Like if people all doing the outline together, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
A couple friends, like I saw somebody I knew, I'm not going to say his name, getting it done. I was like, wow, whole entire back, man.
Were they under?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's got to be at least, I'm guessing like $50,000 to $100,000 at least.
I was going to ask if you knew the cost.
I heard it's crazy money.
Huh.
To get put under and do that.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, I don't, I can't even fathom that. But.
Yeah. Do you have any tattoos you regret?
I mean, I have cover-ups.
Yeah, I have cover-ups too. Yeah.
So, but nothing I'm like, so embarrassed of that I like.
You would never do your hands or your neck?
I've thought about it. I mean, I still like the idea of anonymity. Like I like being able to just go and be unsuspecting.
That's cool.
Yeah. But I do love neck tattoos. So I think it'd be cool to have a neck tattoo. Like I've thought about like, oh, that'd be a good, but I probably won't do it. I have one on the back of my neck.
Yeah.
It's pretty visible.
Cover it up,
yeah, my hair can cover it up.
What about, I was going to ask you one more thing on here. Oh, are you on social media?
I am. I'm terrible with social media.
Do you check your DMs? You talk to people on there and stuff or no?
They're dictating my process now. So I use
Who's dictating?
Customers.
Okay.
Like it used to be like, oh, if you want to get a tattoo, email this, this is my email. And I feel like now it's just people are like, hey, like you either catch my DM or you don't get the business. So so now I check DMs. I'm on Instagram way more than I want to be. But I mean it's just so
it's a necessary evil.
It's so necessary, yeah. It's like I'm not really good at self-promotion.
I know that's what I'm saying. You were on LA Ink, you didn't want to like do any other. You just did your thing. You weren't trying to like be famous or
no, but I mean,
and all that stuff.
We just live in a different world now, and that's what it is. Is you have to make your own commercial and kind of have your own song and dance, and you have to sell it. You have to sell yourself. Yeah, it's a hard thing.
But also, that's your portfolio on your Instagram. Basically, that's your portfolio.
Yeah, but I mean, tattoos aren't necessarily exciting to look at, So there's the whole thing where it's like you need to put your face up there. It's like I don't really ever do that. Yeah.
I like that you don't do that. It's cool.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I mean, I just feel like, like
people are gonna hear your voice and see your face on this podcast, though.
Oh.
But you checking DMs now for like getting tattoo appointments and stuff, right?
I do. I kind of have to, otherwise I'd miss business.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's so many other options for people to go to. It's like you kind of need to reply. I mean, I feel like I'm a very general tattooer.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of everything. Not
is there
everything.
Stuff you won't like? Is there a style you don't like to do or not your best that you still need to work on?
I would never like. I mean, I don't know my way around Japanese. I can do a little, like a koi fish here and there, that kind of stuff, but I would never do any kind of like big Japanese piece, because there's like, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. Like, there's so many people that do it so well that you would just send them to those people.
Person, yeah.
Yeah. Nothing like biomech or anything like. I wouldn't do a blackout.
What about lettering? You like doing lettering and all that stuff?
I mean, some lettering, like there's some people that do it so well,
Crazy.
like so exquisite that like BJ Betts, phenomenal.
Shout out to BJ Betts.
Yeah. So it's, it's like almost like if you can't do it like that, then like just send it to someone that does. Christina's amazing, that works at our shop. She can kind of do everything. So she's so good at that.
What do you love doing? What's your favorite kind of tattoo to do?
I like narrative, plants and animals. But I also, like lately I don't know what's happening. Like all of a sudden I'm like, I think I like simpler tattoos. Like I've always done kind of detailed stuff. But I'm thinking I'm just appreciating bolder and simpler. It just looks so good.
Yeah.
It looks so great. I'm like, maybe I want to back up a little bit and start simplifying more.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And are your clients all different ages now? It's like all diverse clientele you have? Like young kids or?
I tattoo, some, but it's usually like parents like having me fix their kids' tattoos that, they got
in the back of a classroom.
Yeah.
They got like a stick and poke party.
Or they're on their budget tattoos. But I would say I tattoo mostly like people my own age, a lot of Gen Xers, a lot of women. Yeah.
You like doing flowers too, right?
I mean, I kind of got pigeonholed doing that.
I
do enjoy doing them. Sometimes you want to add something to the mix, so it's not just that. But I got kind of like, I do a lot of that. But also it's like they're pretty and they always look good. They're classic, and chances are you're not going to hate a rose down the road. Do
you prefer black and gray or color?
I get more color requests. I do love black and gray. I like doing it. But it's there's so many black and gray artists in LA.
So many.
It's so popular. So I feel like, I kind of by default end up doing more color.
Is it more popular now, black and gray stuff?
I think so. I mean, I think, especially with like the smaller line, like fine line, like that, you can get more detail. It's quicker. You can get more fine detail. You can even have like a tiny thing that's got a.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Do you pay attention to like new up and coming tattoo artists?
I do.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's mind blowing what's happening. I just can't even the Korean, like, have you seen the really tiny, like hyper realistic color?
Like Jesus had just different religious things, really small on people's fingers, just all that stuff.
Yeah. It's mind blowing what's
crazy.
happening. Yeah. It's anything goes now.
Yeah, I feel
which is cool.
Yeah, I feel it's the same thing with like skateboarding. All the new young skateboarders doing tricks that us older guys can't do or couldn't do, or just new artists coming out and music. It's all different. I love seeing all the new people come in.
It
new
is
generations.
It's evolution. Right?
Yeah,
like it's inevitably everything's going to get better. They're going to start off with more knowledge and they're going to surpass quicker and
and start earlier too and all that stuff.
Yep.
But it's like, I embrace it. I'm not like a gatekeeper. I'm not like, this isn't punk or this isn't hardcore. I'm like, this is awesome. This is like something new, refreshing, a new take on it or something. Or
and there's a lot to learn from younger people too. Like, we've all got our own things that we can bring to the table. But
do you have younger people coming in the shop, like other tattoo artists coming through and doing like tattoos there?
Yeah, we get a lot of guest artists.
Yeah, guest artists. Yeah.
And so I mean, I would like to get some more people in, just because it keeps it fresh, it keeps it exciting. And I think everybody benefits from like new blood being in the shop. Just
a new energy.
Yep, it helps. It really does. I mean, because I think tattooers get bored. I think artists get bored. I think humans get bored.
Yeah.
I think you got to just shake it up and keep it interesting. And you know.
Have you reached a lot of your goals with your life with tattooing and all that stuff? Are you still pushing and trying to learn more things?
I'm trying to learn more. I feel like the only thing is I think coming from, the school of tattooing that I came from, which was working in street shops where you do what comes through the door, So there's the little bit of that business person in me that's just like, well, like I can do this. Like I should do this. But maybe I could have like more of a direction with personal style, but I still enjoy doing a variety of things. So there's that, I don't want to just call it a service, or, there are people that are very specific and they only do one style of art. I still like kind of doing a few different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that, I like portrait artists and stuff. I don't really do portraits. Like there's so many people that do it better. I'll just send that. But yeah.
Yeah, portraits are hard.
Yeah. I like really
Not that you couldn't do them, but yeah, they're hard, yeah.
They're hard. And and the people that are great at it, like there's so many of them, like, so just send it to them. But I like really illustrative stuff. And that's more what I gravitate towards. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you too about diet, because I know you were vegetarian for a really long time, and then as really made that change, right?
Yeah, I started eating meat again, which was a big
no judgment
jump from. I know. And I feel like I have to confess that to you because
it's okay,
because of who you are.
It's all love.
Yeah.
How many years are you vegetarian for?
I mean, most of the years from age, I would say like 18 to.
Wow.
47.
And why'd you make that decision back then to become vegetarian?
It was mostly animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly animals and health and.
That's cool to do that at a young age too and figure that out. Really.
Yep. And then I was so into yoga, and that is like kind of the preferred diet of yoga.
Totally.
So plant-based.
It's all connected spiritually.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. And then kind of recently I decided I think, my age, I'm going through perimenopause, and it's like my body's changing. I'm like, I need, I feel like I need more protein. Even my doctor was
craving it. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I just wanted to get rid of some hang-ups and just kind of see what it's like to just eat everything, be normal.
Yeah.
It was, it's a journey. Like
Was it hard to do that?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'm like, I'm all about it. And sometimes I'll take a bite of something and I'm like, that is disgusting. That chicken tastes like chicken, and I can't, but yeah, I mean, it's like, I'm still pretty picky about what I eat. Like as far as like, I do buy organic and not that, I mean, it's still an animal, but yeah.
So you feel guilty eating it sometimes?
Sometimes, or if it's just, cause it's, you know what it is.
Totally.
Yeah.
You think you ever go back to being veggie? You don't know?
I don't know. Not right now.
Yeah.
Not right now.
But you feel better.
I do feel better. And I could see being pescatarian. I could definitely see that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do like cheese a lot.
Yeah.
And I like being able to go anywhere and just kind of eat anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Convenience is a lot for people too.
Yeah. And just also like not being the person that like can't go places, just something.
But there is options everywhere now too. It seems like there is more, right?
Much more so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Yeah. Like being a vegetarian in the early 90s where it was like a salad and a baked potato everywhere.
Oh my God. It was so brutal.
Yeah.
Just falafels or just beans and rice or.
Yep.
It was so crazy back then.
Yep.
But do you feel as long as you feel better, that's awesome. Yeah.
I do feel better.
Yeah.
I do. I feel better. I feel like my blood sugar is more stable. I think that's the one thing. I don't have like crashes. And
was it hard for your body?
My digestion's much better now.
Really? I was going to ask you, was it hard for your body, like transition eating that again after so long? Yeah.
More mentally. But, yeah, I think, the fake meat, the super processed stuff is not good for me. It tastes delicious. Like even still, like if I want a burger, I would get an Impossible Burger, but I would pay for it. Like I would not feel good after.
Yeah. That's why I quit gluten a couple years ago. I think that all that fake stuff was having an effect on me. I realized it was the gluten. So
it was the gluten.
Yeah, and I feel way better now.
Okay.
Not bloated, not heavy, not I don't know.
Yeah.
Gassy, a bunch of things I thought were normal because I was a vegan. That I'm supposed to have these stomach issues and go to the bathroom all the time and feel bloated, and then I stopped doing the gluten, and that just, for me personally, it just worked,
Yep.
Stomach went down, got flat, just all that stuff. I don't know.
I mean, I still eat a lot of plants. I still eat a lot of vegetables and fruit. Like that's still like, I would say the bulk of what I eat,
Yeah.
So.
We do what we can. We do what's good for us, and try to do best.
I don't make
perfect.
big statements.
That's your thing. That's your new thing.
I don't make big statements anymore. Like,
did you used to make a lot of big statements?
I think
'Cause
anytime.
You're pretty low key though. You're quiet.
I don't know. I feel like anytime
You
I
weren't
make
posting big statements.
No, I don't do that.
Yeah.
No, because then you'll
Just like in your friend
you'll
group
get
talking
called
about
out.
Yeah, exactly. In your friend group talking about I'm doing this, I'm doing that, like say things you were about or doing.
Yeah. And then you have to make an excuse why you don't do that thing anymore.
Give yourselves rules and guidelines you have to live by. Yeah.
Nope, not anymore.
Because people change. People grow. They get different things, you know?
You experiment. You see, like, if you like, maybe I should just try living this other way for a little while and see if this works for me. And, I just don't want that. I don't want to be in a box. I don't want to put myself, I don't want to put myself in a box,
Yeah.
So.
No, it's true though.
Mentally, like, even like, I don't, if I want to change my mind about something, like, I don't want to be beating myself over this decision to change my mind about something when I'm just investigating, like seeing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You guys, you and your man watching movies. You guys watch movies, documentaries, Netflix. What are you watching?
What am I watching right now?
You watch a lot of TV?
I fall asleep all the time. I go to bed at like 9:30. Sean watches everything. Like he sees everything.
Like, what are you into? Like documentaries? You into like what kind of shows you guys watching?
You know what? So the last thing I watched that I loved was the newest Neil Brennan special. Comedian.
Oh, stand up. Yeah.
So good.
Oh, that was great. I remember seeing that. Yeah, that was great.
He's so good. Yeah. And he was like, he just makes so many phenomenal points about everything. Yeah. Yeah, he's great.
Is that the guy who was, does he have glasses?
Yeah, he wrote for
Dave Chappelle. Yes.
Yeah, Chappelle, yes.
All the Chappelle shit's incredible too.
Yeah.
All the newest stuff.
It's just so smart.
What about movies? You go to the movies?
Never go to the movies. Do you go to the movies?
We brought it back because we hadn't done it in so long. Yeah, we go to the movies.
Yeah.
That's too much for you.
Every once in a while I like to go, but I haven't been since the pandemic.
Damn,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, no, I need to go back. I need to, like, even just like
anxiety though.
Yeah.
Just in the room with all the people. I get it.
No, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I could do that. Like that. I don't know why we haven't done it. It's more like I have to go at like 3 p.m.
I love movies though.
Yeah. What have you seen?
I've seen everything.
What's your favorite thing that you've watched recently?
Oh, recently I liked Poor Things was pretty crazy. Did you see that?
No, what's that?
It was a big movie last year with Emma Stone.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I remember seeing like the...
Really, really good. Really weird movie. You might like it. It's really artsy and weird.
Okay.
And it's got like I forgot who the director was. It's got like a Nightmare Before Christmas vibe. It's got Edward Scissorhands vibe. It's dark. It's shocking. It's graphic. It's,
okay.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo and who else? My wife likes the crazy actor. He's not handsome, but my wife thinks he's so handsome. I forget his name. You know, it's not Harvey Keitel. I can see his name. A short guy. He plays the Goblin in.
I can't think of his name.
What is his name? He's incredible in there. It's a great movie. You should see it. That was like one of the biggest movies last year.
Okay.
Did you see Barbie?
I did see Barbie.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was cool. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good eye candy. I love, sometimes you just watch things for the visual.
Yeah.
The story, like, it was good. It was fine. It wasn't like the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. You into more dramas or like?
No, I like comedy. I want to laugh.
Wow.
That's all I want to do is laugh.
Okay.
Actually, when I was peeing, I was thinking about that scene in The Naked Gun where he just like keeps peeing. For, like, this is me right now. I just want to laugh all the. I mean, that's.
Do you go to the Comedy Store?
We used to. I
go a lot
occasionally.
now because
Do
my
you
friends can meet
let us
comic
know?
there? Yeah.
Who's your friend?
Chappelle Lacey.
I want to go.
He's really, really funny and awesome. I think you love him.
Last time we went, we lucked out. We saw Theo Von.
So sick.
Yeah.
Podcast kills it. He kills it.
Yeah. Oh, so funny.
I'm gonna go see Bert Kreischer in a week or two. He's playing out here.
I love the Comedy Store.
Whitney Cummings on my podcast. She's awesome.
That was a great podcast.
Thank you.
I loved it.
I'm running a 5K with her next week.
Really?
With a bunch of comedians at the Rose Bowl.
Oh.
It's gonna be cool for charity. Yeah, she's sick. Comes from punk rock, obviously.
I loved her podcast.
Yeah, she's cool. Yeah, there's so many. I just met Bobby Lee a couple weeks ago. He's so freaking funny. Like Bobby Lee.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's great. The Comedy Store is so fun. There's like so many great shows there.
That's the one thing I don't do enough of. That we'll go through phases where we go like every once in a while. But actually, I looked like a couple days ago. I looked at like who was coming. I'm like,
oh really?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, maybe we should try and go soon. It's just that really I just work so much.
I could take you to see my friend. I think you love him. He's great.
Yeah.
He's there he's like a Comedy Store regular now, and he travels a lot, but he's done it a couple times a week. Super fun. He has a show there coming up. You know Christina P? Yeah, I went to her podcast. It was sick. I went to mom's house.
Wow.
But she's coming down in a couple weeks. She's going to be doing stand-up for Netflix, a whole week of Netflix stuff out here in May. I'll let you know the dates.
Okay.
She's doing that venue at Hollywood Forever. There's like a venue there. She's doing it there.
Huh.
May 8th.
Okay. An outdoor comedy thing?
No, indoor, but there's a venue there.
Oh, okay.
She's super cool. Christina P. She's badass. Yeah.
Yep.
I love her. She's a punker too. Yeah, I've been way more into comedy. I have way more comedians on here lately. I love it. It's good for the soul. I feel like you can go there and laugh at things that people are afraid to laugh about, just go and laugh about life,
Yep, for sure. We went to this outdoor spot. It was it was on Hollywood Boulevard, but it was like in the back. I forget what it was called. It's like, it had like a celestial name. I can't think of it. But it was like Bill Burr and Jim Jeffries, and like, it was just an awesome night. Like,
I love
those
Bill
two.
Burr.
Oh, he's the funniest.
He's the
And
best.
Jim Jeffries is hysterical too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it was
I know that name too.
Oh, it was so good. And yeah.
I love Bill
Burr. And then
Burr.
like Gene Simmons was sitting.
Really? Oh my God. And you're a rocker.
I know. It was kind of exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was just, but it was just this nice outdoor venue, like sandwiched between like some buildings, and just what a, great thing
That's
to
cool.
have.
Was that during the pandemic?
It was during the pandemic.
Yeah, those outdoor ones were
Anything
sick. I went to some too. Yeah.
Yeah. Had like a spacey name. I can't remember what it was called. I don't even know if it's still there anymore. But
yeah, I might have
it was small.
One,
we were pretty close. It was good. It was like
Bill Burr is one of my favorites. He's incredible.
He's just so salty. Yeah. Oh, Dave. Yeah.
But Bill Burr. He's from Boston. He's incredible. Ever seen the footage of him? Like, he's in Philadelphia and they're like talking shit to him, and like he flips on the whole crowd and it goes viral. Just shitting on their whole entire city. Like, you guys worship. You have a statue of a fictional character, Rocky, in your city that you think is real. Just crazy shit going off, and it was so good, dude.
Yeah, he's amazing. Like, he's
on his shit.
Oh,
too.
he's so honest. And
he's a big music fan too.
Oh yeah,
he plays drums.
I
see him popping up on stage with different like rock stars and stuff. Like, he's a metal fan.
Yep. Oh, he was that, the Josh Homme and Friends.
Yeah.
That we went
That's
to.
You went to that?
Yeah, I went. And it was awesome.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, he was playing drum. I think John Theodore maybe was like his instructor, or maybe
really?
Yeah. I think he was taking classes maybe with John Theodore. I could be wrong.
It's cool. He likes music too.
It was so fun. It was so fun, and like, yeah.
Did you ever tattoo any comedians at all? Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I tattooed Margaret Cho.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I tattooed Margaret Cho.
How about the show Beef? Oh my God, you watch Beef?
Oh, it was so good. I loved that. That was great.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Beef 2 coming too.
Okay.
You tattooed her. That's so cool.
Yeah, and then Matt Bronger.
I know that name. I think. Yeah.
He's funny, but
So
those
Margaret
are my
Cho have a lot of tattoos?
She has a lot of tattoos.
Really?
Oh yeah, she's got a ton.
Is she cool? She seems cool.
She's great. She's just funny and awesome, and just love her style. Like, she's just she's really into her tattoos, and we love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beef was really great. That's like one of the great shows stand up for the past couple of years for sure. That was so good.
That was good. I mean, Succession was awesome.
Love Succession.
I'm gonna rewatch that actually.
It is so good.
Right.
You watch Shameless?
Yeah, because Chicago, and I didn't finish it.
Yeah,
but
Moonish, we watched all the seasons again.
Okay.
Such a great show, yeah.
Yeah.
But Succession was great. It was so stressful.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was so
great
stressful.
acting though.
Now, whenever there's like a price hike or some kind of like, supply chain issue, I just picture like the Roys sitting around like, what's our next supply chain issue going to be? It's just also crazy. Like, it was just such good commentary on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin's brother was incredible.
I thought so too. He was my favorite. He was just such a weirdo. Like,
such a jerk and just like twisted. I don't know. I loved him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. I don't know why he was my favorite character, but he was my favorite character.
Yeah, that whole show I saw.
I hated Tom Wamsgams.
Oh yeah.
I hated him so much.
That's what's her face's man. Yeah, Tom. Ugh.
He had the perfect douche last name.
Yeah.
Wamsgams.
A lot of English actors on it. He's an English actor. I saw him get awards recently. They got almost every award this past year.
Yeah, they were. It was such a good show.
I think his lady was English or Australian or something. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, when you can make people hate you for like, you're just like, oh, you're just doing your job really well. You're just a really good actor.
What's the last movie you saw in the theater, you think?
I can't even remember. I don't know. It would take me like.
That's 4 years ago.
Yeah. No.
That's 4 years since you've been to movie theaters. That's crazy.
It's been a long time. It's been a really long
Yeah, bring
time.
it back.
I know. And you know what? The Grove is like so close. So it's just
so
like.
close.
I love that theater.
New seats in there now.
Is
AMC
it?
took it over. Yeah.
Okay. All
Get out, girl. We're going to do
All
that.
right. I know. I have to do something other than I'm starting to like
I want to go
do something other.
Sure. I know.
Yeah, let me know. I will come pick you up. I know you don't like
I could walk. I could probably walk to your house from here though. No.
Okay, we'll drive.
You have to come back and do the sauna plunge. I'm gonna show it to you. It's so sick.
Okay.
Does it scare you?
You know what? It does scare me, and I was gonna do it. Like, there's a place right next to the Gray Underground where I go. Like, there's a place that does like cold plunge. Or like the sauna and cold plunge, and I'm just afraid to do it. Like, honestly, I'm just like, no, not today. I'm going to do it tomorrow.
You're safe here, though. There's nobody around. It's chill. It's so easy.
Yeah, but it's still really cold.
But there's no judgment. You can jump right back in the sauna, the good part. And it's clean. My shit's clean.
Yeah.
I keep my shit spotless. I'm really worried about that.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah, I don't fuck around. Like, especially if people go in there a lot. It's just like I keep it nice.
Yeah. I would do it just because, like, why not? Just experience it. It just seems like
just
something.
Push yourself.
Yeah, I like pushing myself. So, like, there's certain ways I don't like pushing myself, but that's being cold is.
I know.
Being cold or up high, like.
You take cold showers?
No, I mean I have. Like, I was trying to like cool it off at the end of the shower, so my pores, like.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll try and do that, but man, just like.
It's fucking hard.
Getting it on your hair, like just having like cold water pummeling your head is terrible.
I know. I dunk my head in the plunge. It makes it easier once you do that. It's really good.
I'll do it. I'll totally do it. I'll do it. I do want to climb, so I would totally do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just looks so fun. It just looks like
it's a good workout too.
Yeah. I wonder if you get past the point of where you're not even really thinking about, hi Stella, where you're not like, thinking about how hard it is. You're just thinking about like, how do I grab that, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and
how do I get obsessed with it, man.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
So cats, no kids, respect.
Yeah.
Cats over kids.
Yeah. I mean, my cats are awesome.
Yeah.
I actually get separation anxiety from them. Like, I feel like when I'm traveling, like.
You travel with your cats?
No, I don't.
You know people take those bubble things?
I don't travel that
much. Cat in the bubble?
I know. We have one. We have like
You don't like traveling? Oh, I can see you be stressed about flying too.
Oh, yeah. It stresses me.
Me too. I freaking hate flying.
Yeah. But then when I get to where I'm going, like.
I love it. I'm so psyched.
Oh my God. I'm so like, it was so hard to get me to go on a plane to London. And then I know I was driving Sean crazy. And then when we got there, I just ran him to death. I was like, no, we got to see this. We're like,
what are you worried about flying? Is it going through security? Is the whole procedure? It's everything?
I don't know. Hate it being too, up in the air and
that stresses you out?
Tube, like, with,
I know.
Like, I just want to be on the ground.
It's like a big doctor's office waiting room. It's disgusting.
I hate it.
But yeah, and then I have to sit. Oh man, I sit in the back row because I'm a freak. I get weird about bumps. I get weird about being by the bathroom.
You like the back?
I have a weird thing, but now since my stomach's okay, I don't really stress, but I still sit in the back row. It's a weird thing. I will not lock the bathroom door. I make my son or anybody I'm with watch the door. I go to the bathroom. I refuse to lock the door. I have a fear of getting locked in the bathroom on the airplane.
Interesting.
I don't know where the fuck that comes from, man.
What about when that door flew off? Did that just like...
Shit was crazy. That shit was scary.
Right? Like I
haven't
still
flown
like...
since then, to be honest. I didn't
Really?
have to anyway, but yeah. I'm going to London in a couple weeks. I'm just so excited to get there, but I'm not psyched for the flight.
No,
but my wife and son are coming. Obviously, it's going to be great with them, but just...
Sure.
I can't sleep on flights. The food shit. I try not to use the bathroom on the flights.
Yeah.
I don't drink water. I try to do nothing because I don't want to have to go to the bathroom on the flight. So I do everything I can not to go to the bathroom. It's weird, man.
I do. You know what I do? And it sucks. I've been like doing my best to upgrade as much as I can.
Upgrade.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, to me, it's like that stress is worth paying for. Alleviating that too. Stress is worth paying for.
And it's not crazy a lot of money. Yeah.
It's not. I mean, there's ways to do it,
I'm going to ask you.
Like using part points.
Oh, part points. You have a lot of points? Yeah.
Like just from, yeah.
You have a favorite airline you only use?
Well, so I go see my parents, like now I'm trying to go every 3 months. So I do that. That eats up my travel energy.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to go help my sister to take care of them. And so, yeah.
So what airlines you on?
Well, it's almost always United just because
good.
that's what goes in and out of Cleveland the most.
Get your points too, yeah.
Yep. So.
Damn.
That's what I do. So that's what eats up most of my travel, like energy.
Are you going business class there?
If I can, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I don't, but
To
if
Europe,
I can, I do.
I think to Europe, I should try to look into it, man, to be honest, on Lufthansa, see what's going to cost me.
I mean, that's a long trip. I would want to be comfortable.
I know.
Yeah. If you can do it, do it. Like, figure
I'm looking into that, see how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 12 hours or something flying overnight.
Oh, and you don't take anything? Because I've always
I
thought.
don't take nothing, girl.
Yeah, I've always thought like, oh, maybe this will be the time where I take like
Me too.
half of a
melatonin for me or whatever.
Yep, anything like. Yeah.
I'm scared to take something on a flight because I'm gonna be groggy when I'm going through customs.
Yeah, or what if you have to like, what if something happens and you've got to like, the action has to happen and you've got to kick into gear.
Are you like wide awake on the flights, like white knuckling? Are you freaking out on flights?
No, I just draw usually. But I don't know if this happens to you, but I'm always like, as soon as I get on the plane, I sit down, I go to sleep, and then I wake up like immediately.
I do that too. I try to before the takeoff. Yeah, I try.
Yeah, it's something about like the humming or the buzzing, like it knocks me out right away, and then I wake up and I have to, or I'm up the rest of the flight.
You drink coffee on the flight?
I don't drink their coffee because it's what about the water, right? Like the water is like,
I just said something
we
the other
don't
day.
do that.
I just said the other day that the most dirty things on airplanes is the tea and the coffee because they don't clean the things. I heard it's really bad.
Yeah. And isn't the water like kind of, it's the same water line that goes to the bathroom.
I heard it's so gnarly. I heard the other day. I never knew that.
Yeah, we don't do that.
So you knew about that?
I did know about that, and I clean the plane. I always clean the
plane.
Well, I clean the areas that I touch. That other people touch. I do. I have wipes. I don't feel bad about it.
You've always been like that, even before the pandemic.
Yeah, even before the pandemic.
Cleaning the plane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you wear a mask on flights before that?
I did twice before because, and here's the thing, like
you felt sick or?
No, I don't want to take anything to my parents. They're in their 80s.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So a lot of times I'll mask on the way there and not on the way back.
Even recently, even still.
Yep.
All right, be smart.
Yeah, I just don't want to take chances with them. Like I don't want to be the one that gives them anything. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't live with myself. So if there's anything I can do to like, try and minimize that, I will.
That's nice. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Yeah. They probably don't care. My mom didn't care. My mom's like, I'm not gonna. She didn't get vaccinated. So she didn't care. Okay. No, they did. My dad did.
Yeah.
They're kind of different, but she didn't want the vaccine, and she didn't care. And even like I had to fly like pretty early on in the pandemic because my dad got sick and he was in the hospital and it was looking really grim. They thought he had COVID.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but he wasn't, like he had pneumonia and sepsis, so it was really, really grim. And I was like, this was maybe August of like 2020.
Yeah.
So like not a lot of people were flying back then.
No, they weren't.
And then it was like I had to go and like I stayed in a hotel and got tested and all that shit.
That was a crazy
and like
time. Oh my God,
waving to my dad in the hospital outside the window.
Oh my God, it's so brutal.
It was like gut wrenching. Yeah, it's like
it was like a horror movie. I remember all that stuff, man.
Yeah,
people's loved ones were dying. They couldn't be there. They're FaceTiming. All that didn't even seem real, man.
No, it didn't. And in hindsight, you're just like, I have a customer that well, she's not my customer, but her husband and her mother both got tattoos for her. She was pregnant and got pneumonia. She got COVID. It turned into pneumonia. Her lungs couldn't process it because it's, her belly's like ticking up.
God,
so she has these compressed lungs. She ended up getting a double lung transplant, delivering a baby like prior to that. Like they delivered her baby and then she had a double lung transplant. Double lung transplant. I can't talk. At Cedars.
Tongue twister, yeah.
Yeah. She was in the hospital for like 9 months or something crazy like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She's all good now?
She's fine now. She's like,
That's scary,
I mean,
man.
she can't get tattooed. She can't do anything like that because she's got the transplants.
Wow.
But I mean, that was probably the most intense case of
that you know of. Yeah.
That I knew of. Yeah. So it was like, even though I'm like, for most of us, it's a cold. I got it and I was just, I had a cold. That was it.
Same with us. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
very lucky though. A lot of people had it worse. Yeah. Very lucky, man.
Yep.
It's a whole other podcast. It was a crazy time though.
I know.
It's nice to see you.
Yeah. Good to see you too.
4 years later.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
We have to start hanging more.
Yeah, I miss you guys so much.
I know,
you don't even
it's
know.
Great having you here. And hear your story too and your journey. And I'm happy you're in a good place and you're still doing it and killing it. And
And this is the perfect thing for you, by the way. Like, I've listened to your podcast, and I think this is this is perfect for you, and you're so good at it. And
thank you.
You have interesting people on.
Yeah, you're interesting.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're to me.
Boring.
No, you're not. People are going to be psyched to hear your story, but I'm happy you're still doing what you love, and you're in a good place, and thriving in your 50s.
Trying. Not
no,
going
you're doing great.
Yeah, no big statements.
Yeah, no big. And shout out to Sean. I'm sure he's gonna listen. Love you, Sean.
Yeah, he's like, do you want me to come with you? I'm like, I don't know. I think I should do this on my own.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, of course I'm nervous.
No, it's chill. Is this chill? This is so chill.
Yeah, but he offered. He was gonna come hold my hand.
But this is relaxing. We're just talking. It's easy.
Yeah. It's easy. I mean, I feel like I could just talk to you guys forever. So
I know. Me too. I feel like we keep talking to you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening. And where can people find your stuff or just talk to you? Well, she's gonna answer her DMs. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, memoirtattoo.com is our website.
Don't you have a Kim Saigh website?
We have kimsaigh.com. But, Memoir Tattoo is the shop. memoirtattoo.com is our email. So,
well, thank
our
you
website.
For being here.
Sorry.
That's your website? No, you can say your website.
Yeah.
You have merchandise too?
We have merch, and we're expanding that. I was going to bring you guys some shirts, but we're out of large, and I'm printing some now. So I will bring you guys some shirts.
Do you have your own personal merch?
I don't. I probably should. I know, right? Like,
I know. But I like you.
I need help.
But I love that you didn't care about like self-promoting and I'm going to capitalize on being on the show. I'm going to make Kim Saigh shoes and do all this shit. You didn't do any of that shit.
Well, some people would call that stupid.
I don't know, but I mean, that's just not who you are, and you weren't gonna try to fake it because you're on TV in Hollywood. I don't know. I respect it.
Thank you.
I respect it. You just were yourself as much as you could be yourself on that show because it was scripted, obviously. But keep your morals and stay who you were. It's awesome and made it out of that shit alive. And
thank you.
I know it got really dramatic on that shit, but you just I don't know.
No,
that says a lot about you as a person, though. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Being I don't know, just yourself and fucking strong in it,
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Uh-huh.
You made it, girl.
Thank you. Thanks,
okay, thanks for listening, everybody. Peace, bye. I always ask my guests if they have any regrets. I personally don't have any regrets. Even when it comes to my tattoos, I have the silliest tattoos. Even my ET on my leg, it's still a childhood memory for me, and I love it. I've had tattoos on top of tattoos strictly because I wanted more tattoos. I started getting tattoos when I was 18. I'm 52 now, and I can't stop. I've had laser treatment before on something on my arm. It's 4 tattoos on top of each other. And that experience at that place was pretty fast. It was pretty cold. It was in and out, swipe the credit card. Don't really tell me much. Didn't give me much details or anything was going to happen. So I never went back. So as of most recently, I'm so lucky enough to have had 2 sessions at Removery Tattoo Removal. My tattoo on my arm that looks like a big black blob is now super light. I've had 2 sessions. I have a long road ahead of me. None of this stuff happens overnight. You cannot take a tattoo up in one sitting. You have to be patient. And it's painful. They ice you up. It's super fast. To me, it felt like a bunch of rubber bands. But what's more painful than that is looking at something on your body that you think you're stuck with for the rest of your life. That sucks. But now for me, I'm really happy I started this journey. I'm slowly going to get this tattoo removed. I never thought in a million years I have any kind of real estate on my arm. I don't even know what I want, but it's exciting. I'm so honored to announce that One Life One Chance podcast is now with Removery. I have a code. Use TobyH20 and get $100 off your first session. Call 866-934-4570 or go to Removery.com. One of the most experienced tattoo removal companies in the world. Over 600,000 removal treatments done. 100 locations. US, Canada, and Australia. State-of-the-art Pico-Way laser technology. Cryo-technology to reduce any discomfort. This is so exciting for me because all I do in these podcasts is talk about tattoos. From day one, if you've been listening to this podcast, we talk about tattoos, talk about getting removed, talk about getting covered up. So this is such a perfect fit for me. Once again, go to Removery.com or call 866-934-4570. Use my code TobyH20 and get $100 off. These guys are located everywhere. Try it out.